County on the Parsons Vikings at 1-5. And they're coming off last Saturday's loss at Chanute, 42-14, coming in at 1-5. Travis Hurley, the coach of the Vikings, of course, Mark Smith with the Raiders. And again, it matters not what those records show, as it is district play. And of course, joining Frontenac and Parsons in the district, Columbus and Baxter Springs, and they're teeing it up tonight. And again, next week, Frontenac at Columbus, and this Parsons team will take on Baxter Springs. So the final third of the regular season, the district play, determines what goes into the playoffs, and should be an interesting contest. And I don't know if the field conditions are going to matter much, but the rather sloppy out there. We've had a lot of rain, earlier this morning. There was water on the sidelines in the middle of the field earlier today, but that's kind of out of there. But it may be rather slippery out there, and it could have something to do with the outcome of this contest. Now, the coaches' interviews are brought to you by Commerce Bank. No matter how you like to bank, Commerce Bank fits your world, offering mobile banking, online bill pay. You can even make a deposit from your mobile device. Commerce Bank makes banking easy and convenient. And earlier this week, we talked with both Parsons Viking coach Travis Hurley and Frontenac Raiders coach Mark Smith, and we'll be back with those two conversations after we take a 2-minute break. And you're listening to Frontenac Raiders on Fox Sports 1340 AM.
Duty Series. These are the big boys and completely redesigned F-250s and F-350s. These Super Duty Series trucks are made with military-grade aluminum body panels and ready to take on any job you throw their way. The 2017s are arriving daily, but we still have some 2016 F-150s still available. Choose 0% for 72 months or rebates as high as $5,800. Some rebates may require financing through Ford Motor Credit. See dealer for details. Find them fast in names and numbers.
This is Dr. Bennett of Performance Spine and Sport. Recover faster with Performance Spine and Sport. Performance Spine and Sport wants to improve your overall physical performance. We specialize in treating soft tissue-related injuries that result from everyday work and play. This fall, we are offering a Saturday morning sports recovery clinic. This features discounted rates on our cryotherapy, Normatec recovery, with active release chiropractic, soft tissue care also available. Performance Spine and Sport, inside Meadowbrook Commons at Centennial and Broadway in Pittsburgh.
Our free head exam. We're sort of famous for it. People think it's funny when we say, get your free head exam. And it does sound funny, but it's serious business because you can lose your diamond if you don't do it, if you don't get your free head exam. I'm Jill Como. Of course, the head I'm talking about is not the one attached to your neck. There are other professionals for that. I'm talking about the head of your ring, the part that holds your diamond. The head of your ring has prongs. It has welds that keep the head attached to your ring. Those parts wear out, get weak, and they break. But foolish you didn't get your free head exam at Como Jewelry, so you didn't realize that your head was falling apart. And one day, your diamond was gone, just like that. You can stop that from happening to you. Just come see us at Como Jewelry in Pittsburgh and Joplin. Say you want your free head exam. You'll laugh, we'll laugh, and we'll save your diamond from falling out. You will be really happy.
Now, back to Raider football.
Welcome back to the ESPN 100.7 Coach's Corner. I'm Tyler Dara, sitting down with the head coach of the Parsons Vikings, Travis Hurley. And as always, this portion of Coach's Corner brought to you by Eye Care Associates of Parsons. Go see Dr. Gilmore and Dr. Newland at 501 Main Street in Parsons. And Coach, coming off a win against Iola, 48-42. Then you guys go take on Chanute. Kind of a odd game. You guys had to play on Saturday, I believe, in a final score of 42-14. How do you feel like your kids came out and played after winning that first game of the season?
Well, we came out first quarter and played really well. We went down and got a score, opening drive, and got a stop. And, we had a turnover on our third drive, and that kind of swung the momentum of the game. Dealt with some injuries in the second half, and our lack of depth on our lines really hurt us in the second half.
And, Coach, offensively, how do you feel like you guys played? You were able to put up 14 points, but like you said, some of those come in the first quarter and kind of sporadic after that. How do you feel like you guys played offensively as a whole?
Well, as a whole, we played pretty well. We dropped a couple wide open touchdown passes that would have been points for us in the second and third quarter. And like I said, we lost. We had a couple starting linemen out. We lost another one in game. and it made it tough to move the ball there in the second half.
And I heard that you guys dropped a couple passes close to the end zone or around the end zone, and I wanted to kind of let you say that because I wasn't able to watch the game, so I wanted to confirm that from you. But defensively as a whole, you guys give up 42 points, but like you said, it probably was a little bit closer of a game than what the score suggested. How do you feel like you guys played defensively?
Well, we didn't tackle very well. And part of that, like I said, we had some young guys in there in the second half with our lack of depth on the defensive line. And those guys kind of got physically overmatched at times, and we wore down in the second half.
And we're talking a little Parsons Vikings football with head coach Travis Hurley. And coach, you guys take on a interleague matchup, but a first district game of the year tonight in the Frontenac Raiders. What are you expecting out of Coach Smith and the Raiders tonight?
Well, they're very physical. They're very athletic. They execute and do things really well. I haven't seen a team pursue like they do defensively in a long time, so they're a very good team.
And Coach, you said you guys were kind of down on the offensive line, and a lot of people will say that Frontenac's defensive line is one of their stronger suits. How are you guys going to kind of combat that tonight?
Well, we did get a couple of kids back, so that helps. But we just have to play better up front. We had a really good week of practice, so we're prepared for tonight.
All right, Coach. Well, as always, thank you very much for joining us here on Coach's Corner, and good luck to you against the Frontenac Raiders tonight.
Thank you.
That's Travis Hurley, head coach of the Parsons Vikings. They will take on the Frontenac Raiders tonight in their first district game. It is an interleague game, but their first district game of the season nonetheless. Be sure to check out Eye Care Associates of Parsons. They are the sponsor, as always, of this segment of Coach's Corner. Be sure to go see Dr. Gilmore and Dr. Newland over at 501 Main Street in Parsons. We've got more coaches coming up after this.
In a world of prefabricated convenience, isn't it nice to know that nothing beats good old-fashioned craftsmanship? Hicus Masonry melds time-honored hardscaping skills with all-natural materials to create structures that are both stunning and sturdy. When it comes to quality stone and brickwork, don't take chances. Go right to the experts. Whether it's indoors or out, big or small, make Hicus Masonry the first choice for your next project.
It's the place where you'll build that new swing set for your little girl. It's where the entire family will gather for Thanksgiving dinner, even Uncle Bob, where hundreds of wiffle ball games will be played, where countless slumber parties are held. It's your home, where memories are made every day. To view all of the current listings, browse their website at pitrealty.net. Your new home and your new memories start at Pitt Realty.
Are you tired of all those confusing checking account options? The Kansas Teachers Community Credit Union makes your choice simple. We only have one option. Our checking account has no monthly fees, and if you maintain a $2,000 minimum balance, we pay you interest. Get the Credit Union Advantage at 416 North Broadway or call 620-231-5719 for more information. Deposits are federally insured by NCUA up to $250,000.
CDL offers a comprehensive, proactive maintenance program to keep your business electrical systems running efficiently. Without inspection and proper care, it could be just a matter of time before your operation is damaged and your customers are impacted. You can trust CDL Electric to solve your problems before they happen and supply the parts you need to keep your electrical system in excellent condition. Don't wait until you have to call an electrician. Call the professionals at CDL today. Find them fast at names and numbers.
Now, back to Raider football.
It's time for the Frontenac Raiders Coach's Corner. I'm Rob Strand, talking with Frontenac coach Mark Smith. The Raiders improved to 6-0 with a 43-0 shutout win at Altamont against Labette County. And, Coach, I know you have to be pleased with the performance of the Raiders on Friday night.
Yeah, I could kind of just feel it on the bus ride over. They had a sense of readiness, and they were just fired up for the big game. They knew Labette was a pretty good team, but we just played very well on both sides of the ball, especially defense. We're very physical, and our focus and intensity really showed on Friday night.
And we talked prior to the contest, kind of interesting heading into districts. You had, the CNC SEK game. You had an unfamiliar opponent, a team that was on a roll. And although there wasn't necessarily anything riding on it except for keeping the unbeaten season going, it was still a big game.
Oh, definitely a big game. Our kids wanted to kind of show how good we were, and I think we did that. Our kids were excited. It was kind of a fun game to just watch our kids excel. We were just very physical on defense. We were flying around to the football. On offense, we got a few early drives to get that lead, and then our defense just kind of took that momentum. Had 4 interceptions and a fumble recovery, so had some big hits on defense. Really frustrated their running back, and made their quarterback just feel the pressure every time we could, and that kind of affected their passing game. But it was a great team win for us.
And again, Labette County took won the coin toss, took the football, and defense able to stop, and Raiders put points on the board early. That's kind of been the theme, and that's always a big plus.
Yeah, it's always great to get the lead early. Kind of takes a little pressure off you early. Just lets you kind of get into the game a little quicker. The defense, once again, gets great field position at the Brandon Lucas interception. The offense went down and scored about 5 or 6 plays. Defense got a great stop again, gave us great field position. They had a tremendous punt, pinned us deep inside the 3, but we didn't get far out. But we gave them the ball back, and then our defense made them go 3 and out, and they had to snap it over the punter's head, gave us a 9-0 lead, and we scored on the next drive on offense. We went up 16-0 pretty quick, and from there we just felt the blood in the water, and we just kept attacking.
And right before half, had a couple turnovers, or it could have been a bigger lead at halftime. I guess that would have been only discouraging part in that first half.
Yeah, that's what I told them. We just got to take care of the ball, especially when we're inside the 20, 25-yard line. So those are the few disappointing plays in the game on offense, because I thought our offensive line played very physical. They were showing us a lot of different looks up front, 3-man, 4-man, 5-man looks. So offensive line really got off the ball. We ran the ball pretty well. And we had some big passing plays because of it, because they were loading the box and being pretty aggressive, and our receivers made some big plays out wide.
I'm Rob Strand, talking with Frontenac coach Mark Smith. The Raiders 6-0 after that 43-0 shutout win at Altamont against Labette County. And again, a potent offense, coach. And, they got flirted with red zone a few times, but pretty much seemed like the defense was in control.
The human eye blinks about 17,000 times a day. But here's a real eye-opener. Dry eyes can cause irritation, red eyes, and blurred vision. Don't assume your blurry vision means you need new glasses or contacts. The doctors at Kanar Eye Care are experienced in diagnosing and treating dry eyes with the newest treatments available. So schedule your eye exam in Pittsburgh or Girard with Kanar Eye Care, the clear choice.
Find them fast in names and numbers.
At Commerce Bank, we offer auto loans that fit your world.
In my world, I need a different car, so I need an auto loan now. The next car I buy will be red, fast, sporty, and we probably want 3 rows so the kids can really spread out.
Whether you're buying new or used or refinancing your current car, Commerce Bank can help. We'll get you a competitive auto loan that fits your budget and flexible payment options that make sense for you. We can even pre-approve a loan so you can start looking for that car that fits your family. We make it easy, so apply today at a branch, over the phone, or online at commercebank.com.
Easy? That's great.
Easy. That's Commerce Bank.
What do you know about Crestwood Country Club? Did you know that all new members will receive 3 $20 food certificates for use upon sign-up? How about the fact that it typically takes less than 4 hours to complete a round of 18? Crestwood also offers plenty of space for private functions such as birthdays, weddings, reunions, or any other special events. The 2016 membership drive is in full swing. For more information, contact General Manager Todd Casey at 231-6530. A golf heaven at a value price. Crestwood Country Club.
Jock's Niche Sporting Goods. For whatever game you play.
Jock's Niche Sporting Goods at 6th and Broadway in downtown Pittsburgh has new shoes coming in daily for everyone to start school on the right foot. Nike, Adidas, Converse, Brooks, and Asics. A huge selection of Oakley, North Face, Nike, and Adidas backpacks. Gear up at Jock's Niche for all your back-to-school needs.
You got the sports look of today. Sporting goods from Jock's Niche.
At Evans Motors, we have something for everyone. Looking for a truck to help get the job done? It's on our lot. Need a gas saver to get you around town? It's on our lot. In the market for something reliable for your new teen driver? It's on our lot. Is your family growing and you need a vehicle with more space? It's on our lot. Come see all the vehicles on our lot at Evans Motors at the junction of 69 and 400 Highway just south of Pittsburgh, or check out our digital dealership online at evansmotors.net.
Now back to Raider football.
Rob Strand back with Randy Southern at the Frontenac Raiders Sports Complex, heading toward a district battle between the Frontenac Raiders and Parsons Vikings. And coach's interviews brought to you by Commerce Bank. And quite like the end of Mark Smith's interview. It was riveting. I did it with earlier. That's all you're going to have to be content with. It was well worthwhile. Maybe we'll play it again sometime. Look around the area. Other area games courtesy of Lindbergh Pharmacy. Additional quality service continues today, just as it has since 1877. Lindbergh Pharmacy staff strives to provide superior clinical services and convenience to our customers. Look around the area. Other area games courtesy of Lindbergh Pharmacy. Of course, here on Fox Sports 1340 AM. Frontenac playing host to Parsons on our sister station, ESPN 100.7 FM. Pittsburgh High, traveling up Bonner Springs. And on 93.1 FM, Colgan. Playing host to Yates Center. Those are three broadcasts we have going. And again, we stream all those contests live at ESPN1007.com. So you have the opportunity to watch and listen if you care to. Some of the other contests in the area, Galena at Cherryvale, and Battle of CNC Team to Riverton calling on Southeast, and also Columbus at Baxter Springs, Girard entertaining Anderson County. And of course, last week's victim, Bet County at Independence. They moved that game to Independence because of the field conditions. We've also got Chanute at Coffeyville, Fort Scott, Lewisburg, over on the Missouri side, Joplin at Hillcrest, Wood City. Travel to Branson. Carl Junction visits Nixa, Carthage Show, and Lamar Tigers home against Seneca. So that's a look around the area at other area games, courtesy of Lindbergh Pharmacy in Pittsburgh, Bonner Springs on 100.7 FM, Colgan Yates Center, Colgan on 93.1 FM, and of course Frontenac playing host Parsons here on Fox Sports 1340 AM. We stream all those contests live at ESPN 1007.com. We'll be back with starting lineups after we take another 2-minute break. 2 minutes. You're listening to Frontenac Raiders on Fox Sports 1340 AM.
Hi, I'm Kenny Garland. My name is a Kansas City Chief, but I'm also a proud graduate of Pittsburgh State University. Pittsburgh State offers more than 200 degree programs, small class sizes, and tuition so affordable, and Pittsburgh State a top 10 ranking on Washington Mercury's collegiate best bank on the buck list. But don't take my word for it. Visit Pittsburgh State Accelerators right now at Bill O'Gara.
Facing criminal charges may be the most frightening challenge of your life. The loss of freedom, your job, your license, are prospects you don't want to take lightly. Don't face these challenges alone. Calling the law office of Edward J. Bartatori is your first step to taking control of your situation. Put their reputation for success in the courtroom on your side. Call the law office of Edward J. Bartatori today, 620-230-0333, and take back control of your life.
Advertising on digital billboards works. I'm Carrie Nix, co-owner of Arrowhead Outdoor. We now have 15 digital billboards at busy stoplight intersections in Kansas and Oklahoma, including at 14th and Santa Fe in Chanute and 20th and Broadway in Pittsburgh. Here's Brian Pasteur with Pitt Realty.
A big part of our growth is our branding and our ads on the digital billboard at 20th and Broadway.
Thanks, Brian. Learn more about our affordable, effective advertising on our digital billboards. Call Arrowhead Outdoor at 620-308-6667.
Who's more important, football fans? The offensive coordinator or the defensive coordinator? Neither. It's the Party Food Coordinator. Ultimate Choice Catering is your best hire for Party Food Coordinator this season. Blitz them first with strip pit chicken, pulled pork, or rib, or use a little play action with the hot wings, brisket, or rigatoni. If your guests are just grazing a little at halftime or during the game, you can audible to smoked or garlic sausage bits, sweet onion or pepper dip, or their unique smoked chicken dip. Call Ultimate Choice Catering at 620-249-9858 or email Joe Clark at joeclark@sbcglobal.net. No order is too big or too small for the coaching staff at Ultimate Choice Catering.
Now back to Raider football.
And Rob Strand back with Randy Southern at the Raiders Sports Complex. Frontenac Raiders about to host Parsons Vikings in the district battle, and Pittsburgh State University pregame continues. Starting lineups brought to you by Pittsburgh Ford. Pittsburgh Ford has a team of experts to ensure that you get exactly what you want when you step onto their lot. Whether you're there for an amazing vehicle or to maintain your current one, Pittsburgh Ford is there to help. Starting lineups courtesy of Pittsburgh Ford and Randy Southern doing the honors.
For the Parsons Vikings on offense, across the offensive line, they've got senior Josh O'Hara, senior Brett Hauk, senior Spencer Jackson, sophomore Anthony Lee, senior Adam Garmalker, junior Keyshawn Anderson, senior, and these are wide receivers and wingbacks. Keyshawn Anderson, junior, senior Jamarius Green, sophomore Devontae Yates, and junior Gavin Larson. The running back behind the quarterback in their wing T offense is junior TJ Mayhew, and the quarterback is sophomore Gage Freeze. For the Frontenac Raiders on defense, the two starting defensive tackles, senior AJ Lusker and junior Andrew Mays, two defensive ends, junior Brock Ginnivan and junior Cal Strand. The two starting middle linebackers, senior Dylan Flora, and tonight's starting junior Jordan Ishimura, in for the injured Dexter Palmer. Two starting cornerbacks, senior Brandon Malikas and senior Tristan Fay getting the start for the injured Austin Model. The three safeties, junior Jake Wilbert, senior Ryan Long, and senior Isaac McNichol.
Those are the starting lineups brought to you by Pittsburgh Ford, and the Frontenac Raiders now taking the field. First district battle, and get in their home black jerseys, black pants, black helmets with white numerals and white trim, and awaiting the arrival of the Parsons Vikings. And we're getting close to kickoff in what should be an interesting contest, opening district play, the other district battle. We have Columbus, and is taking on Baxter Springs, and the Lions hosting that game, and of course Raiders head to Columbus next week. So interesting district, the second season. Getting underway here, and the Pittsburgh State University pregame continues, and we'll be back to the keys of the game, courtesy of Jotsnich, after we take another 2-minute break, and you're listening to Frontenac Raiders on Fox Sports 1340 AM.
The Campus Bookstore, located inside the University Plaza, has always been the most affordable place to buy new and used textbooks for your college classes. And there is no doubt they offer the best price when buying them back. But did you know that now at the Campus Bookstore, you can save even more money? They will rent you the books you need for your classes. Don't stress about the buying and selling process. Rent your textbooks from the Campus Bookstore. And don't forget their game day gear by Nike. The Campus Bookstore.
SEK Urgent Care is celebrating 10 years of providing medical care for our community. From sneezes to stitches and everything in between, SEK Urgent Care is there for you 7 days a week. At SEK Urgent Care, walk-ins are always welcome, and most insurance is accepted, including Blue Cross Blue Shield. We would like to say thank you to all of our patients, past and present, for trusting us with your illnesses and injuries. We look forward to many more years of service. SEK Urgent Care, 10 years and counting.
Finding a lawyer means choosing someone with experience, confidence, and a good track record. Every legal situation is unique, and you need someone who will give you the level of comfort that he or she will treat your legal problem like it is their own. J. Gordon Gregory of the law firm of Wilbert & Towner is ready to provide you with that type of specialized assistance. With over 30 years of experience in Southeast Kansas, Gordy is ready to give you the personalized legal service your problem needs and deserves. Call J. Gordon Gregory of Wilbert & Towner today at 620-231-5620 or contact him online at wilburtontowner.com. Trust J. Gordon Gregory with all your legal problems, including divorce and custody cases.
Are you tired of all those confusing checking account options? The Kansas Teachers Community Credit Union makes your choice simple. We only have one option. Our checking account has no monthly fees, and if you maintain a $2,000 minimum balance, we pay you interest. Get the Credit Union Advantage at 416 North Broadway or call 620-231-5719 for more information. Deposits are federally insured by NCUA up to $250,000.
Now, back to Raider football.
And our national anthem by the Frontenac Raiders band prior to kickoff of this district battle between the Frontenac Raiders and the Parsons Vikings as the Pittsburgh State University pregame continues. And the keys to the game brought to you by Jock Snitch. Gear up for the game day at Jock Snitch Sporting Goods in downtown Pittsburgh. Shop the largest selection of fan wear in the area. Jock Snitch Sporting Goods is the sports look of today, and Jock Snitch keys to the game.
Well, first we got to talk about the field conditions tonight. A little wet out there, standing water early in the day. None of that out there, but it is soft, even out in the middle. Didn't see a lot of players from Frontenac at least slipping during warm-up. Saw just a couple of slips out of the Parsons Vikings out there. So hopefully the field conditions will be good enough where we won't see a lot of players slipping out on the field. For the Frontenac Raiders on offense tonight, I think if you spread Parsons out, then they go with just a 6-man in the box, 4 down linemen and 2 linebackers. So I think they can spread them out and then be able to run the football up the middle, and that should set up some play-action passes. Their corners also for Parsons give quite a bit of cushion, so if you spread them out, I think that plays into the short passing game that Frontenac likes to do. So run the ball early, short passes, setting stuff up for deeper later in the game. Defensively for Frontenac, Parsons does a lot of misdirection out of this wing T, so it's imperative that everyone stays home on the misdirection and doesn't get fooled. Frontenac's been very aggressive so far on defense. You heard Coach Smith talk about how they've flown to the ball and done a good job with that. If they do that too much tonight, then you can give us some big plays in that misdirection, so they've got to stay home. The Parsons Vikings on offense, I think they've got to use that aggressiveness against Frontenac and try to get that misdirection going so that they can get their running game going on the ground. That does set up some play-action pass that they will try to do, but it's imperative that they try to get the running game going out of that wing T offense. Defensively for Parsons, their D-line's been able to get some penetration this year, and they do blitz their linebackers an awful lot. The problem has been, though, is they don't always hit home. They don't always run into the play. They can't afford to do that tonight. If they get penetration or they blitz those linebackers, they've got to be able to make plays in the backfield. They just can't miss. Furthermore, their defensive backs, they're going to have to tackle extremely well on the outside. I'm sure Frontenac's going to go with some short passes. And if they don't tackle well on the outside, they can break it and get a big play out there. So they're just going to have to tackle extremely well with their corners and safeties.
And the captain's at the center of the field, and they've had the coin toss. I actually didn't see the signal. Whitehead didn't look up and give us any idea who won the toss or who's doing what. In any event, the captains for the Vikings, T.J. Mayhew, Hunter Barkus, also Tyler Metcalf, and Brett Hauk. For the Frontenac Raiders, Brandon Malikas, Isaac Bicknell, Dylan Floor, and A.J. Lusker. Kickoff time and temperature brought to you by CDL. CDL is the area leader in residential, commercial, and industrial heating, cooling, and refrigeration. Call the professionals at CDL to make sure your office or home is the right temperature all the time. Going to kick it off straight up, 7 o'clock, 68 degrees. Looks like a breeze from the south, maybe 10, 15 miles per hour. And again, kind of muddy field conditions. So hopefully that'll dry up a little with that breeze. And the opening kickoff is brought to you by the Law Office of Edward J. Battatori. Protect your rights. You don't have to do it alone. Experience counts. Call the Law Office of Edward J. Battatori at 230-0333. And I didn't see the signal. Who's kicking, who's receiving?
I'm not sure, but as far as the field conditions being wet, if you think about it, this is really the 5th out of 7 games that the Frontenac Raiders have played on a wet field. So if anybody ought to be used to playing on with wet conditions, it ought to be the Raiders this year. I don't think I've ever seen anything like that. You might normally play 1 or 2 games on a wet field in the whole season. This is 5 out of 7 the Raiders are playing on a wet field.
And it looks like the Raiders will kick off. That means Trey Harris will tee it up at the 40-yard line, and dropping back to receive the kick for the Parsons Vikings goes Gavin Larson, and looks like he's joined back there by Daquan Johnson. Also have a couple more back there, and again, we'll see early on how these playing conditions, field conditions impact this contest, but like you said, we've had a lot of rain this season, and all things considered, the amount of rain, it hasn't been that impactful. I mean, when you're going in, you're thinking during the week, oh my gosh, this is going to be nasty, but it hadn't been that bad.
Yeah, certainly the Raiders have handled it very well. Other teams might have complained that they didn't handle it very well, but to me, that's their problem and not ours. We've done a good job with all the field conditions we've had to deal with.
So here's the kick, and back to receive the kick, Larson along with Johnson. And we're ready for district. Frontenac Raiders hosting the Parsons Vikings. Kick back and enjoy on Fox Sports 1340 AM or stream live at ESPN 1007. End over end kick, and Larson's going to take it back near his own 6-yard line. It's up middle, 10, 15. Cuts it up the middle, and then he is brought down at the 20-yard line. So Vikings will start 1st and 10. They'll start from their own 20-yard line.
It looked like Cooper Loy and Jordan Ishimura getting down there. Cooper hitting him low and Jordan getting him high. So you keep him down by that 20-yard line, you can't argue with that.
Yeah, and the quarterback will be Gage Freese. He's a 5'8", 150-pound sophomore. And again, they've been hit by the injury bug, so we'll see how they piece this all together. The single setback behind the quarterback, Freese, will be T.J. Mayhew. He's a 5'7", 170-pound junior. They have a slot to the right, wideouts to both sides. Freese in the gun. Dropping back to pass, looking, some pressure, going long, and it's up for grabs. And the defender is turned around, Malikas, and he gets beat and making the reception. And that is Daquan Johnson, but a penalty flag is down.
And I think this is going to be a chop block. I think A.J. Lusker got hit high and low, so I think this is a chop block. Yep, that's the call. Yeah, A.J. Lusker on that defensive line, I saw him get cut, and it looked like there was somebody in contact with him up high. And, of course, that's a personal foul, so that'll bring that long play back. But, boy, first time all year I think I've seen Brandon Malikas get burned deep, so something to look for the rest of this game. Or did the long pass just set up some shorter throws for Parsons? Either way.
Came out firing, tried to hit the big one, and actually hit it as kind of got turned around, did the defender, and a nice pitch and catch from Freese to Johnson. But again, the chop block, and that moves the ball back to the Vikings 10-yard line where they'll face a 1st and 20.
Well, just a big mistake up front and miscommunication on that line, taking away a huge play for Parsons.
Wide to the right side goes Devontae Yates. Out wide to the left, that's Hunter Barkus. Slots to both sides, the single setback. That is Mayhew behind the quarterback, and there's a give, and nothing much there. As trying to see, was that Mays in there and some other tacklers in there?
Well, Mays got to him first, and Lusker was right behind him. And then I tell you, if you get 2 defensive tackles that are going to make plays behind the line, you're going to have a long night.
I was trying to find who the defender or the running back was. I didn't see who ended up with the football.
I'm pretty sure it was Mayhew.
Mayhew, and he was stopped for no gain. 2nd and 20. Vikings from their own 10. Dropping the pass. That's Freese going along the far side, and he's got that is caught as the defender didn't turn around and out near the 45-yard line and a 1st down.
Well, you're exactly right. Fay has the coverage out there on the far sideline, and he's running stride for stride with the receiver. He's not really open, but he never turned around to find the football. The receiver did and was able to make the catch. So, boy, that's 2 long pass plays they've converted. One, of course, back on the penalty, but no penalty this time. A huge conversion for Parsons.
So the Vikings with a 1st and 10, and they'll be at the 44-yard line, their own 44. And wideouts to both sides, slots to both sides, out of the gun. That's Freese. Looking to pass once again, coming near side, got a man, and it's picked off, and that is Jake Wilbert, and he avoids the quarterback, and he's still on his feet inside the 20-18. What a perfect defensive effort, as it looked like the defender opened. He undercut him, got the pick, and returned it down to the 18.
Yeah, it's a great break on the ball. He reads the pass pattern, and he didn't break too soon. He really waited for the quarterback to really show he was throwing it, but a great break on the football by Wilbert. Tips it up in the air with one hand, comes down with it, and a big play to change the momentum of this game early.
1st and 10 Raiders. They'll start at the Vikings 18-yard line. And, boy, after getting torched a couple of long ones, looked like it had a pretty good route going there. And like you said, he just jumped it, got the pick, and nice return down to the 18 where the Raiders start 1st and 10. Trips right, couple wide outs left. Malikas out of the gun with the football. Quick hitch left side. That is complete. And that is Bicknell, and now a penalty flag on the blocking back in the area where you get the hold.
Yeah, it's a hold, and a pretty clear hold out there on the far side by the blocker. But there was that short pass, that quick pass we talked about in the keys that I thought you'd see from Frontenac. Spread them out, use that cushion. But the penalty on the block's going to bring it back. And one positive out of it is not from the original line of scrimmage. It should be from the spot of the foul. So it's not going to be 1st and 20. It's probably going to be about more like 1st and 14.
Yes, they actually did gain about 6 yards on that completion. And like I said, from the penalty, and boy, early on, a little rough start here for the Raiders, both sides of the football. And they will have a 1st and 14 from the Vikings 22-yard line after the mark-off. And a low snap. Malik is able to fall on it back at his own 31-yard line. And a penalty flag goes down as he got hit. He was kneeling down, and the white hat there and didn't like the contact and called.
Well, I think he'd have been fine with sliding into him, but when he grabbed him and flipped him over is when he got the penalty. I think he'd have been okay if he had just slid into him, but the white hat was looking right at it, and he didn't throw it until he flipped him over. So we'll see, and I believe that should be an automatic first down if I'm not mistaken.
Personal foul, and after the mark-off, the Raiders are going to have a 1st and 10 about the original line of scrimmage before this all started. 1st and 10 Raiders from the Vikings 18, and boy, you want to hit the reset button on this one because this has been a struggle.
Well, this is the first time all year we've seen the Raiders come out and not get off to an extremely hot start, and we say that, and they still have the ball on the Parsons 18 with the score 0-0. So, but it just isn't as smooth and as seamless as the Raiders have shown earlier in the year.
Trips right, motion right to left Bollinger. Malika's going to keep it. He slips, but he's still inside the 15, now to the 10. Still on his feet, and he's going to go. Touchdown, Brandon Malikas. Boy, there was nothing there, and he turned it in an 18-yard touchdown run.
Yeah, really well defended by Parsons up front, but they don't make the tackle, and we've seen all week long, or all year long, Malik is extremely hard to get down with those long strides, high knees, and they just weren't able to get him down. And once you get him into the open field, it's over.
So the Raiders again get out to a lead on an 18-yard touchdown run by Brandon Malikas. The extra point attempt by Trey Harris out of the hold of Ryan Long. That kick is up plenty long enough. It is good. 9:35 left first quarter. Frontenac leads Parsons 7-0. We'll be back in 30 seconds. You're listening to Frontenac Raiders football on Fox Sports 1340 AM.
This is Dr. Bennett of Performance Spine and Sport. Recover faster with Performance Spine and Sport. Performance Spine and Sport wants to improve your overall physical performance. We specialize in treating soft tissue related injuries that result from everyday work and play. This fall we are offering a Saturday morning sports recovery clinic. This features discounted rates on our cryotherapy, Normatec recovery, with active release chiropractic soft tissue care also available. Performance Spine and Sport inside Meadowbrook Commons at Centennial and Broadway in Pittsburgh.
Now, back to Raider football.
7-0 lead. Stumbling start. The Raiders still up by a touchdown.
Yeah, that's kind of the crazy thing because it's not been just the rip-roaring start that we've seen the Raiders get so far, and yet they still managed to get on the board. So now we'll see what adjustments they are going to make because it looks like Parsons' game plan is to put the ball in the air against the Raiders.
Gavin Larson back, also Daquan Johnson back to receive the kick, end over end, and it is taken by Larson. He fumbles it in the end zone, and it goes over. It's a touchback, isn't it? Automatic. He's buried at the 5. I thought once across that line whether he hit it or not, it was a dead ball.
I thought it was too, Rob, and he didn't have it and fumble it.
Yeah.
Which I could see where he'd have to bring it out. It just kind of went off of his hands and rolled in, but the white hat is sure marking the ball at the 5-yard line. So this is a big break for the Raiders.
I have to double check on that one. I thought it went whether it touched or not. If it went over that goal line, it was a touchback, but apparently not. 1st and 10 for the Vikings from their own 5-yard line. Again, the quarterback is Freese, the sophomore, out of the gun, and option right side, and a little dive, and boy, short gain. As trying to see who they gave that to him. That looked like that was Mayhew for a short gain.
And he had originally it looked like he had a little bit of a crease, but boy, it closed down real quick. Test in the middle, eventually here comes the misdirection.
2nd, 8 for the Vikings from their own 7-yard line. Again, Mayhew lining up behind the quarterback, Freese in the gun. They got slots to both sides, wide outs to both sides. Now motion right to left. There's a pitch, sweep the right side, cutting inside, and still on the move. That is Jamarius Green, and he is finally tripped up and brought down out near the 24-yard line. He's got a first down.
Well, that sweep has been one of the best plays that they've had all year for Parsons on offense. And they get it here, and the end tries to get up the field. You've got an outside contained man, but they found a little crease in between them, so it's going to have to be closed down. And then no one there in pursuit-wise, and doesn't make any contact till he gets to the free safety and corner.
So Green with 18 yards. Vikings a 1st and 10 from their own 24-yard line. And Mayhew behind Freese. Slots to both sides, rolling right. That is Freese looking to throw, puts it up, got a man open. It is complete, avoids one tackler, two tacklers, and finally brought down out at the 41-yard line. He's got a first down.
Well, nice route. Raiders sitting back in zone coverage. Ran that curl route, found the hole in the zone, and a well-delivered ball by the quarterback, and not much pressure with him rolling out.
So 1st and 10, Vikings from their own 36-yard line is where it's marked. 8:07 left first quarter. Frontenac leads 7-0. Coming out wide to the left, that is Daquan Johnson. Again, the same setup, out of the gun, and there's a give, a dive. No, nothing there. And that time, was that A.J. Lusker on it?
Yeah, A.J. with a big hit up the middle, just swallowed the running back again. Reminiscent of last week against Labette County, A.J. had a similar play and just swallowed him up and drove him to the ground.
Loss of a couple. 2nd and 12 for the Vikings, now from their own 34-yard line. 7.5 minutes left first quarter. Frontenac the 7-0 lead. Out wide to the right goes Derek Williams. Wide to the left, Daquan Johnson. Slots to both sides, single setback pitch, sweep, left side, and trying to turn the corner, but hemmed in and brought down, and that was Jamarius Green.
Well, Ishimura makes the tackle and does a great job flowing to the ball, but this time the defensive end on this side was Cal Strand, did a much better job of getting up the field and a little to the outside, and really didn't allow much of a cutback. You had Wilbur with the outside contained, but Strand kind of got up the field enough and made him pause long enough where the linebacker can come over and make the play. So really good job by Cal Strand that time. 3rd
and 17 for the Vikings from their own 30-yard line. Again, Freese out of the gun. Quick hitch, right side, and boy, they're trying to set it up, but nothing there. Well defended, and still battling for yardage on his feet on the receiving end, Devontae Yates, but that was going nowhere.
Well, I tell you, at first I thought it might be a double pass because I think that might have been a backwards pass, and I thought he was going to try to throw it. Now we see a flag on the far side. Now I'm not sure what that could be. Oh, it's a face mask. Now, he didn't make a personal foul signal, so I think it may just be the 5-yard variety. It is.
Oh, wow. Anyway, it actually lost about 3 on that. So the Vikings will face a 3rd and now 13 from their own 33. So big 3rd down. Raiders leading at 7-0 here in the first quarter. Rolling to the left and pumping, putting it up, and it is complete. And, boy, shy of the first down out at the 45 as and on the receiving end was Keyshawn Anderson. Oh, man, that was
a generous spot. Oh, my goodness. He went out of bounds easily at the 45, and they've got this ball marked closer to the 46, which is about where the down marker is.
Yeah, it looks like it just short. If looking to the far side, I don't know if they're going to, it looks like they want to bring the chain across. Yeah, they're going to, that was rather generous, I'd say.
Very generous.
We shall see. And then what do you do if you got a 4th and inches from your own 46?
Oh, I don't think there's any questions. Parsons will go for it. I mean, what do you have to lose in this game? You've had some success on offense with some positive plays. Now, I don't think I'd run right up the middle, but I think I'd certainly go for it.
Chains come from the far side. 6:03 left here in the first quarter. Frontenac the 7-0 lead. Vikings will either have 4th and inches from their own 46 or a 1st and 10, depending on the measurement. And stretching it out, and it's going to be short. About the length of a football, it looks like. So, yeah, I think you're right. And then you at least try and draw them offside or, hard count, something along those lines. But can't imagine them not going for it.
Oh, absolutely. You just have nothing to lose in this game. So how many opportunities do you think you might get? And although the way this game has started, the Raiders just not quite on their top of their game just yet.
Yeah, the Vikings with a 4th and inches from their own 46-yard line. As wide to the left comes Devontae Yates. Wide to the right goes Derek Williams. Single setback, T.J. Mayu behind the quarterback, Freese, who's under center this time. See if they try and draw him or he keeps it. There's a little movement in there. Now he's going to keep it. No, boy, I don't think he got it. I do not think he got it. It's going to depend the spot near side, and it doesn't look like he gave him anything.
Yeah, I don't think he made it, although it may have been a little generous, but I think this is still short.
I can't imagine. It sure didn't look like he got anything out of it.
The Parsons players are making some nice first down marks, but White Hat just pointed in Frontenac's direction. Raiders hold.
Now, I imagine they would probably want a measurement, won't they? It actually looks farther back, but I don't know. I mean, it doesn't look like they gave him any forward progress.
Well, they just measured it. The White Hat ought to have a pretty good idea where the stick is.
Yeah.
And to be honest, I thought he got a generous spot on both the last 2 plays. I didn't think he made it as far as where they've got the ball now.
I think he refused to do the measure. I don't know.
It is the official's discretion.
I went over and talked to the coach, and rarely, I don't remember seeing officials refuse to do measurements, but
now they're going to bring him out.
They are going to bring him out, and if they did, well, it's by the narrowest of margins because it didn't look like, and where they spotted, he got much out of it. 5:52 here in the first quarter. Frontenac the 7-0 lead. Chains from the far side as stretch it out. Did not make it. 1st and 10 for the Raiders. The defense holds.
Yeah, and that
may be something that they actually needed too.
That was further away than the 3rd down play, so White Hat was all over it on the initial call.
1st and 10 Raiders. They'll start football just shy of the Vikings' 45-yard line with 5:52 left here in the first quarter. And Frontenac, a 7-0 lead. Wide to the left goes Bicknell, joined out there by Long. Tight to the right, Flora. The running backs, they're split. Fay along with Bollinger. They flank Malikas. It's now out of the gun. And there's a little crossback action. They give it to Fay, and nothing. He got stoned, and he actually lost a couple.
Well, there was the penetration up front, and this time they ran right into it. Fay with no place to go. Excellent penetration up front. That looked like it was number 33. That's Joel Scheibe for Parsons making a nice play.
2nd and 12 for the Raiders from the Vikings' 47-yard line. Down to 5:25 left here in the first quarter. Frontenac, 7-0 lead. Mansour goes wide left. Joined out there by Bollinger and Ginnivan. Fay, the single blocking back behind Malikas in the gun. Option left side pitch, Fay. And he gets some blocks, cuts inside, got some room, got the first down inside the 35, down to the 33.
Well, good read by Malikas. Waited as long as he could, got the pitch out. Had tons of room out there, and this time Fay had the penalty earlier with the hold, but this time gets a good, he turns it up hard. Got a good block from Bollinger out there on the edge to be able to give him a little more space and get that first down.
Yeah, we mentioned last week at Altamont against Lebec County how well the blocking backs, or the running backs did block.
And in Bollinger in particular, he had a heck of a game.
So 1st and 10 Raiders from the Vikings' 33-yard line. Wideouts both sides, slots both sides. Malikas again out of the gun. Motion right to the left. Goes Bollinger. Low snap once again. Malikas has it, and he turns it up, and he's got some yardage down to about the 28-yard line.
Well, and twice now, the snap, I assume the ball must be a little wet because it hasn't really been an issue all year. Interesting what Parsons is doing, though. Even when they're spread out, they've kind of abandoned the two deep safety look. They're now going with 1 deep safety, and it looks like man-to-man coverage on the outside. So we'll see if the Raiders can take advantage of that as this game progresses.
2nd and 6, Raiders from the Vikings' 29-yard lines where they mark it. Running backs in the eye this time. Malikas under the center. And there's a give to Bollinger, the tailback, turns the left corner, has the first down and more, lowers his shoulder, and he tumbles inside the 20 and has a first down.
Well, a nice run by Bollinger because that thing's supposed to go a little bit more towards the inside, just kind of between the tackle and guard. The blitzing linebacker blitzed right into that hole. Bollinger saw it, bounced it out to the outside, able to pick up the first down. Really good vision and nice run.
First and 10 Raiders now at the Vikings 17-yard line. Clock's moving down to 3:55 left here in the first quarter. In Frontenac, 7-0 lead on the move. Wide left goes Bicknell. Tight to the right this time. That is, well, actually in the slot, Bollinger along with Flora to the right. They fake the pitch. There's the trap to Bollinger. And he straight arms and got a good gain on first. They keep the clock rolling. Why is that? You've escorted him out of bounds about the 12.
I'm not sure, but the little kind of almost a little wingback reverse there from Frontenac, and the play's pretty well defended, yet still gets 6 yards. How many times have we said that this year?
So the Raiders, just a little different look there, and Bollinger, like he says, gets 6. And the Raiders face a 2nd and 4 from the Vikings 12-yard line. Wide left goes Ginnivan, coming wide to the right. That's Mansour. Bollinger in the slot right. Flora slot left. With a little indecision now. Motion left to right goes Flora. Rolling right. And man open and dropping it is Flora. No, it hit the ground. One of the Vikings came up with it. It's an incomplete pass. Hit the ground. And again, Flora didn't make the catch. Didn't look it in. He was wide open.
Yeah, I think they are calling incomplete pass. Ball hit the ground when he dropped it. But, smart hit, though. Why take Flora on up high? You're not going to win that if you're a defensive back. So a smart hit going a little bit lower, able to knock that ball out.
Third. Let's call a 5 for the Raiders from the Vikings 12-yard line. Wide right is Long. Slot right, Bollinger. Bicknell wide left. There's a draw up the middle. That is Fay, and he dives inside the 10. I believe he's going to be a tad short of the first down.
Well, and they blitz everybody again, and they didn't quite hit it with the blitz, but the defensive tackles were able to get off their blocks, get a hold of him just enough to slow him down, keep him a couple yards short. I'm sure the Raiders will go for it.
Raiders facing a 4th, let's call it 2, from the Vikings 9-yard line with 2:23 clock moving here first quarter in front of 7-0 lead. And coming wide right is Ginnivan. Bollinger in the slot right. Out wide left goes Clefman. Malikas and they blitz. There's a pitch, and Fay is inside the 5, and he's going to go in. And again, Malikas, the perfect read.
Absolutely, and held it. Pitched it out there. Everybody collapsed on him. Everybody knows Malikas is kind of the guy. So the defense really keys on him. Everyone goes towards that. He pitches it out, and easy running. Broke one tackle to about the 5. But touchdown for Fay. But that's where the threat of Brandon Malikas ends up getting Fay a pretty easy touchdown.
The extra point attempt coming up off the foot of Trey Harris out of Ryan Long's hold. That kick is up, and that is good. 2:04 left here in the first quarter. Frontenac leads Parsons 14-0. We'll be back in 30 seconds. You're listening to the Frontenac Raiders on Fox Sports 1340 AM.
Having a confident smile can change everything, and Invisalign makes that decision easy because you can have a stunning smile without most people even knowing you're going through treatment. Saya Smile Center is proud to be a premier provider of Invisalign. Your Invisalign treatment will consist of a series of aligners that you switch out every 2 weeks. Each aligner will gradually shift your teeth perfectly into place, giving you the smile you always dreamed of. Call Saya Smile Center today for your no-cost consultation. Saya Smile Center, 4095 Parkview Drive in Frontenac, 620-231-7242.
Now, back to Raider football.
Frontenac leads Parsons 14-0.
I've got some scoring updates. Girard with an early 14-0 lead on Anderson County. Riverton has scored first against Southeast. They lead 7-0. And then Colgan, happy to be playing the other 2A schools now. They lead Yates Center 21-0 in the first.
Back to receive the kick. Larson drops back with Johnson for the Vikings. End over and kick from Harris. Johnson takes it, backs it to 5, brings it to middle to 10, and he tries to take it to the outside, and he is tripped up and brought down at about the 14-yard line.
I think that was Cooper Loy and maybe Zach Roseborough getting in on there. It's amazing. We mentioned Cooper Loy's name an awful lot on these kickoffs. Does an excellent job in coverage.
So 1st and 10 for the Parsons Vikings. They'll actually start at their own 18 with a minute 58 left first quarter, and Frontenac with the 14-0 lead. See if the Raider defense could hold again. The quarterback is Gage Freese, only a sophomore. Back behind him, that is Mayhew. Again, slot backs to both sides, wideouts both sides, and there's a give. And keeping the football and nothing doing as Freese tried to keep it, and he was thrown down at the 15.
Well, and this one makes you wonder whether the quarterback's reading it or whether he's told what to do, because if they're reading that option, certainly should have given the ball. Defensive end was waiting on him, tip of the quarterback. He kept it. Strand was right there at that defensive end spot to smother him for the loss.
So a 2nd and 13 for the Parsons. Football rushing just outside the Vikings 15 with a minute and a half remaining first quarter. Wide to the left comes Johnson. Wide to the right side goes Yates. And Freese out of the gun. Running back behind him, that's Tyler Metcalf looking to throw and pressured and able to get around the corner. Now going long, and it is overthrown. And well, I tell you what, I'll give credit to that quarterback biding his time, and he had a receiver just overthrew him a tad, but he got behind the defender. It could have been a lot worse.
Yeah, and there was a little bit of contact with the ball in the air on that far side. I was looking at the back judge and the side judge, see if they were going to flag for interference, and the Parsons coaches over there looked like they were calling for it, but no flag thrown.
So a 3rd and 13 for the Vikings with the football just outside the 15-yard line. Coming out wide to the left is Daquan Johnson. And they got a wide out right, a couple of slots in the running back. Metcalf behind the quarterback, low snap. Freese has trouble, comes up with it, puts up, got a man open, and I'll tell you what, Brandon Malika's coming over as Gavin Larson had it in his hands, but he was looking for the defender also and let it slip through him. But a penalty flag, and they're going to have a roughing the passer.
Yeah, and I didn't see the hit on the quarterback, but I wonder if the receiver, kind of saw out of the corner of his eye Malika's coming over and was worried about the hit, but he was open. If he catches that ball, it would have been a first down anyway. So, and then you get the late hit apparently.
And the Vikings, via the penalty route, get the first down, 1st and 10 from their own 31-yard line. And minute 4 left here in the first quarter, and Frontenac up 14-0. Going out wide to the right side goes Derek Williams. Wide to the left comes Daquan Johnson. Again, Freese out of the gun. And they fake the pitch and trap up the middle, and not much doing. As they were able to get it to Mayhew, and he was stopped for no gain.
Mays and Lusker in the defensive tackle spots are pretty well controlling the middle of the line, and that time Dylan Flora getting in on the hit as well. But the defensive tackle's plugging everything up the middle. Looks like Parsons may keep trying to get to the outside, keep throwing the ball, because they've had some success with the passing game, whether it be penalty or completion.
Vikings 2nd and 10 from their own 31-yard line. Again, wideouts both sides, slots both sides. Single setback, TJ Mayhew behind quarterback Freese. And there's a trap, and Ginnivan rudely throws Larson to the ground. And we'll see where they mark it, but it's a big loss.
Yeah, and this is kind of that misdirection. You fake the dive to the left side, you bring the wing back around almost like a reverse. But Ginnivan does a great job getting up the field, turns his head. He got up the field as deep as the ball. He didn't overrun it, got as deep as the ball, turned in, there was the back. So great job by doing his job by Ginnivan.
That's the end of the first quarter. Frontenac, the 14-0 lead over Parsons. We'll be back with second quarter action after we take a 30-second break. You're listening to the Frontenac Raiders on Fox Sports 1340 AM.
In a world of prefabricated convenience, isn't it nice to know nothing beats good?
Why should you choose Pittsburgh State University?
Nationally recognized academics.
Student-friendly tuition.
Incredible athletics. The amazing campus.
Whatever you're looking for in a university, you'll find it here.
It's why you belong. It's why you belong at Pittsburgh State University.
The mark of a great body shop is no mark at all. Whether your vehicle has minor door dings, scratches, been in a fender bender, or just needs a complete makeover, Vietti Auto Body in Pittsburgh will make it look as good as new. Vietti Auto Body on East 4th in Pittsburgh since 1948. Find us fast in names and numbers.
Since 1945, Tri-State Building has been helping build the four-state area, providing quality construction services and dependability at competitive prices. Tri-State Building has a reputation as a general contractor and an authorized Butler builder, which holds experience, quality, and reliability above all other considerations. Tri-State Building has built a multitude of projects and is your full-service design build contractor that can take you from concept to grand opening. For an honest and proven contractor, call us, Tri-State Building.
Every 4 years, the fastest and strongest among us come together to determine who's the best in the world. At Frank Fletcher Toyota, we invite you to run through the tape.
The best-selling Toyota RAV4 leaves the competition in the dust. Drive away a brand new Toyota RAV4 for as little as $24,997 or get 0.9% financing for 72 months.
And every Toyota comes with Toyota Care, our 24-month complimentary maintenance plan. The best deals on the best cars in America.
Now a penalty is false start going to go against the Vikings.
Yeah, I think that was Keyshawn Anderson in that wing-back spot, took off a little early.
So it's going to be 3rd and 20 for the Vikings from their own 21-yard line.
Now, the Raiders had been in obvious passing situations, had been going to a 3-man line, bringing an extra defensive back, or actually bringing in an extra linebacker. Looks like right now they're going to stick with the 4-man front, I believe. Yeah, they are. So maybe abandoning that tactic.
Got 3 out to the left side, 1 right. Freeze to throw, looking over the middle, pressured, come from behind. That's Gideon on the chase, and he puts it up and throws it well out of bounds. And boy, who was that? Bollinger got in there?
Yeah, really good pass rush by the Raiders all around. But the key to this play was Wilbert was out on the wide receiver to this side, and he played bump and run coverage and did a great job of holding up the receiver and not letting him get out into his pattern. That's where Freeze was wanting to go, was this receiver, but he wasn't even into the pattern yet because Wilbert did a great job of chucking him at the line.
11:53 left, first half. Frontenac leads at 14-0. Parsons punting situation, 4th and 20 from their own 20. Back to receive the kick. Isaac Bicknell stands back at his own 40-yard line. And back to punt, Cody Stevens. And he's going to stand about his own 6-yard line. The official's getting set here. And good snap, some pressure, but a low end over end. And we'll see if he's going to pick it up. And he's going to be brought down right at the 44-yard line. Good coverage there as Derek Williams landed Bicknell. They're going to give him the 45-yard line. So 1st and 10, Raiders will start from their own 45-yard line with 11:44 left, first half, leading 14-0.
Well, and the Raiders really need to start figuring some things out up front. There's been an awful lot of penetration. Malikas has been able to make some plays, and they've been able to get to the outside. But up the middle so far, Parsons' defensive line has done a great job getting penetration. The Raiders' offensive line needs to figure this out.
Wide to the right goes Long. Bollinger, slot right. Out wide left, that is Bicknell. Rolling right, Malikas puts it up, and it is complete. Then is Long, and he's wrestled out of bounds short of midfield after a gain of about 5 yards.
Well, I tell you, the Raiders are a little bit lucky. I thought there was a pretty obvious hold on the end of the line, kind of spun a kid around. No flag thrown, so the Raiders get away with one, get a nice gain on first down.
2nd and 5 for the Raiders. Football resting just on the Frontenac side of midfield. The 11:15 clock moving here in the second quarter, and the Raiders with the 14-0 lead. And Malikas out of the gun. Okay, the blocking back to his left, and he just leads him to the left side, Malikas. And he drags a pile down near the 37-yard line, and well, not much. He just took off running and was able to pick up about 15.
Well, and that play was blocked a little bit better. The left side of the line crashed everything down to the inside, allowing Malikas to get to the outside. The receivers getting pretty good blocks downfield, so a little bit better that time by the Frontenac up front.
1st and 10, Raiders from the Vikings 37-yard line. Long splits wide right, out wide to the left. That's Bicknell. Running backs in the eye behind Malikas, who's under the center. Cooper Grant reverses out, gives it to Bollinger, tries the right side, and boy, it's a leg drive. Flirts with a 35, but not much there.
Yeah, good hard run as he gets hit about at the line, maybe 1 yard, and is able to just kind of bully his way forward. So a good hard run by Bollinger, but again, pretty good defense by Parsons up front.
Bollinger unofficially 3 carries, 21 yards. And the Raiders going to face a third, let's call it 8. Ball shy of the Vikings' 35-yard line.
Or second down, right?
Second down, yes, second down, sorry. As Mansour brings the play from the sideline, then splits out to the left side. Ginnivan in the slot to the left. Couple of blocking backs flank Malikas, and they give, and he's going to keep it straight up the middle, 30, 25, 20, 15, 10, 5. Touchdown, Brandon Malikas from 35.
It's a great read. You get the zone read play, and I thought for everything he was going to give it, and he pulls it out at the last second, had a big hole on the left side of that line, one great stiff arm on the defensive back, and then it's clear sailing to the end zone. But just a great read at the beginning of the play to keep that and take it himself.
And just that, tell you what, he makes up his mind and he goes. And you have some tacklers have an angle on him. He just splits them and goes 35 yards for the score. Now Trey Harris with the extra point, and that is up and good. 9:48 left here in the first half. Frontenac 21, Parsons nothing. We'll be back in 30 seconds. You're listening to Frontenac Raiders on Fox Sports 1340 AM.
Raider Express, Frontenac's downtown convenience store, is open and ready to serve you. Check out the expanded seating area. Raider Express is the home of the student basket special, including your choice of a cheeseburger or chicken strips with fries and a drink for only $5. Don't forget Raider Express for breakfast, pizza, and a great selection of grocery items, too. Stop in, and while you're filling up your tummy, don't forget to fill up your gas tank, too, with quality Conoco fuel. The Raider Express in downtown Frontenac. Go Raiders!
Now, back to Raider football.
Out to a 21-0 lead over Parsons, and kind of a stumbling start, but the Raiders respond with 3 scores here and get that 21-point lead.
Yeah, starting to wake up a little bit. Kind of slipwalked through most of that first quarter and still had a lead at that point, but now starting to pick things up a little bit. Play much more like the Raiders team that we've seen all year.
Harris teased it at the 40. Again, back to receive the kick. Gavin Larson drops back there along with Daquan Johnson. So they're inside their 10-yard line. Harris approaches. And end over end kick. Johnson's going to take it behind the 10. Brings it up the middle, 15, 20. Hurdles one tackler, and then he is planted at about the 24-yard line.
Couple scoring updates, Rob. We got Galena playing Cherryville. Galena with a 21-0 lead on Cherryville. Coffeyville leading Chanute 7-6. Bonner Springs and Pittsburgh. Bonner Springs 8, Pittsburgh 7.
So some of the updates. And, of course, I guess technically the 5A with Pittsburgh in the playoffs now. They're all starting in districts, I guess, in that level. And proceed from there. Is that correct? That's the way I understand it in any event. But
I thought they do a ranking.
Yeah, they rank them. There's 16 on each side or something like that. And so need to get a win up there. Bonner Springs. First and 10 Vikings from their own 24. Pitch, sweep, left side, and nothing going on there.
I see a Raider getting up slow because it looked like a crackback block that the block was actually in the back, which that's not legal. You can crack back, but you still have to get your head in front, and looked like Ginnivan took one in the back as he was trying to get the ball carried to turn it back up the field.
He was a little slow in getting up. Loss of 4. Nice effort there by the Raider defense. And 2nd and 14 for the Vikings. They'll be at their own 21-yard line. It's wide left. It goes Johnson coming wide to the right side. That is Yates. Now in the slot to the right side. Keyshawn Anderson. Priest out of the gun. Rolling right. And he's pressured, puts it up, and it is picked off by Wilbert inside the 15, and he is still on his feet, and he's inside the 5, cuts inside, touchdown! Jake Wilbert picked it off, a pick 6. What a return.
Well, give Brock Ginnivan an assist. A great pass rush, maintained outside leverage, but flushed the quarterback. Wilbert sitting back in zone coverage, came off of the man he was originally on when the ball was thrown, makes a nice pick. And then I think everybody thought he was either down or out of bounds. It looked like everybody kind of stopped, but he kept going, ended up finding his way into the end zone, his second pick of the night.
And again, to attempt the extra point is Trey Harris out of the hold of Ryan Long. This one is up. And it is good. 8:47 left first half. Frontenac 28, Parsons nothing. We'll be back in 30 seconds. You're listening to the Frontenac Raiders on Fox Sports 1340 AM.
Watco Companies has been a member of the Pittsburgh community since 1983. Now a national freight transportation provider, Watco serves customers in 26 states by offering transportation, mechanical, and transload services. Whether transporting potatoes from Idaho, replacing rail cars in Iowa, or transloading rock in Alabama, Watco will never forget their roots because there's no place like home. Watco supports Pittsburgh community athletics and wishes all area teams the best of luck.
Now, back to Raider football.
We need a score from, let's see, we got a score from down Baxter way as Baxter Springs and Columbus tied at 8.
Wow.
With 7:47 remaining in the first half. Harris has it teed up at the 40, and again, back to receive the kick. And end over end kick going to roll into the end zone for a touchback, and the Vikings will take over as Harris got a foot into that one. Taking a gander at it was Derek Williams, let it go into the end zone.
The Raiders have come alive in the second quarter. 2 early touchdowns and much more intense, I think, out there on the field. The defense playing with a little bit more ferocity right now.
Yeah, so the Vikings going to see if they can have an answer, down 28-0 with 8:47 left here in the first half. 1st and 10, Parsons from its own 20. Going wide to the left is Daquan Johnson. Coming out wide to the right side, that is Devontae Yates. Again, slots to both sides. Single setback behind the quarterback, Freese. And then there's a trap play and nothing there. And trying to see, was that Ishimura?
Yeah.
Nice effort out of linebacker and no gain.
Yeah, Ishimura, really good read because you get the misdirection stuff and the pulling guards, and the guards will show you the way. And he filled the hole perfectly as it looked like maybe the play was going backside. Stayed home, read it, filled the hole, made a really nice play. Good read.
2nd and 10, Vikings from their own 20. Again, same formation. Wide to the left goes Johnson. Out wide to the right, that's Yates. Slot left, that is Anderson. Slot to the right side is Green. Mayhew, the single setback, and there's the give, the dive to Mayhew, and boy, not much there. Good second effort. He's able to get it out near the 22, maybe a couple of yards, but boy, not easy.
Yeah, Brock Ginnivan, defensive end, did a pretty good job on this option. Kind of stayed back and made the quarterback give it, and then was still able to get back to the inside in order to get his arms around the ball carrier and keep him with that just a short gain.
3rd and 8 for the Vikings from their own 22-yard line. Clock moving here in the second quarter. 7:38 remaining. Frontenac 28-0 lead is wide to the left again. It goes Johnson. Wide to the right is Williams. Again, Freese, the quarterback. There's that hitch left side, and it short hops. The receiver come up with it and actually stopped for no gain. And you always wonder if that double pass right there, like you said too, is kind of set up that way.
Yeah, I assume that must have been backwards on the throw a little bit because it sure looked like it skipped in there to me too. But
so he ended up no gain. So a punting situation for the Vikings as they face a 4th and let's call it 7 from their own 23-yard line. Back to receive it is Isaac Bicknell. Kick off the foot of Cody Stevens, who stands back inside his own 10. Snaps some pressure, gets a kick away, a low line drive, and it takes a Vikings roll. And Bicknell thought about it, but bearing down on him was Derek Williams on the coverage, and he decided to let it roll dead back at the Raiders' 37-yard line. That's where they'll start 1st and 10.
Yeah, good choice by Bicknell that time. Ball not rolling very hard. You got pressure coming down on you. There's no sense in even trying to pick that one up. Only cost the Raiders about a yard or two.
So 1st and 10 Frontenac. Raiders will start from their own 37 with 6:31 remaining in the first half, leading 28-0. Again, they're going to have what the little Raiders perform at halftime, I believe. A little entertainment. Malika's out of the gun. Fade the single set back to his left, rolling left, some pressure, putting it up, and it is overthrown and almost picked off. Pass thrown behind Flora. And boy, having designs on a pick was Hunter Barkas, but it just sailed past him.
Yeah, one of the rare poor throws, and just didn't get his shoulders turned. Rolling to his left, didn't get his shoulders turned back to the right quite enough, and that ball sailed on him.
2nd and 10 for the Raiders from their own 37-yard line. Frontenac, the 28-0 lead, heads to Columbus next Friday. While Parsons will visit Baxter Springs, and those two knotted at eighths, middle of the second quarter. Interesting time of year. You get that second season district play. You throw the records out and see what happens if you get in the postseason. Out of the gun, Malikas gives it to Bollinger in motion, right to left. He's inside the 40, 45, 50, and boy, dragged down clumsily at the Parsons 49-yard line.
He gets up a little bit gingerly as he went down awkward, but he waves off the coach saying, "I'm fine." But really good on the jet sweep this time. Left side of the line, didn't allow any kind of penetration, gave Bollinger some clear sailing to the outside. The wide receivers is always getting pretty good blocks out there, so a nice pickup for Bollinger.
1st and 10 Raiders. Football just shy of the Vikings 48-yard line, down to 6:06 left here in the first half. Frontenac, the 28-0 lead. Long goes wide right, Bollinger wide to left. Flora tight left side. Out of the gun, Malikas gives it the dive. That's Fay. He cuts back. He's inside the 40, 35. Needs a block. Gets a block. Cuts to the 20, and he is collared and brought down now near the 17-yard line.
A really good hole up front this time. No penetration. You get the trap block, and you get the linebackers blocked as well. Had a nice crease right up the gut, able to break it to the outside, but really well done by that offensive line up front, playing much better lately in this game than earlier.
5 carries, 56 yards, and a touchdown for Tristan Fay. 1st and 10 for the Frontenac Raiders. Ball resting at the Parsons Vikings 17-yard line with 5:39 left here in the first half. Frontenac, the 28-0 lead. Coming wide left, that's Mansour. Slot to the left, Ginnivan. Running backs in the eye this time behind Malikas, who's under the center. There's a give. That is Bollinger. And, boy, tell you what, he put the brakes on and then tried to stretch it outside. Pretty nice gain down to about the 11-yard line, but it's kind of an odd-looking play. He just stopped on a dive, took a right turn, and ended up picking up about 5.
Well, he was going to run into one of his blockers if he hadn't stopped, which, in the old days, the running backs were told if there's no place to go, you put your head down, you put it right in the back of the blocker, and he'll go get a block a little bit harder next time. But pretty good push on that right side, though, to get what he got.
2nd and 5 Raiders from the Vikings 11-yard line. Get out of the eye. And Malikas looking to throw. He's got a man open. That is complete, and that is Flora. Cuts inside a tackler, and he is stopped just shy of the goal line.
Well, nice play action fake. You get the naked bootleg. Malikas coming out. 2 receivers out there, just 1 defensive back. Made the right choice. Went to Flora wide open. Couldn't quite get into the end zone, but nice execution of the play.
So the Raiders face a 1st and goal. Football resting inside the Vikings 1. The clock moving down to 4:20 left in the first half. Frontenac 28-0 lead. Running backs in the eye. Behind Malikas under center. Fay the fullback, the tailback. That's Bollinger. Malikas. Oh, man, he got sacked back at the 6-yard line. He got penetration there. That was abrupt. And I believe that was Brett Houck got in there and threw Malikas for about a 5-yard loss.
Yeah, you can't time a blitz any better than what he timed it, but we do see a penalty flag down. Maybe he got there just a hair early. Might have been offsides. Yeah, that's the call. Got there just a little early, but looked like he timed it perfect, and no one laid a hand on him. Got to Malikas early, but the official on the near side here says he got into that neutral zone just a little too quick.
I think he was trying to get that ball to Bollinger and came out, and by the time he had turned around and had the football out there, he got planted back at about the 6, but a little over anxious was Houck, and it'll be 1st and goal for the Raiders inside the Vikings 1. Again, out of the eye with Malikas under the center. Fay, the fullback, the tailback, Bollinger. And this is a give it to Bollinger, left side, and he walks in for the score.
Yeah, left side of the line, great job pushing everything down to the inside, leaving a big gap on that left side. Bollinger walks into the end zone.
So the Raiders add to their lead on a yard run by Caden Bollinger.
And I'd say the slow start is over.
And Trey Harris again to attempt the extra point out of the hold of Ryan Long. And the kick is up, and it is good. 3:48 left first half. Frontenac 35, Parsons nothing. We'll be back in 30 seconds. You're listening to the Frontenac Raiders on Fox Sports 1340 AM.
PhelanLawFirm.com.
Were you hurt on the job?
PhelanLawFirm.com.
Were you injured in an auto accident?
PhelanLawFirm.com.
Fighting for your Social Security disability benefits?
PhelanLawFirm.com.
When accidents happen, when life takes an unexpected turn, when you need help the most, will you remember where to turn? The Law Office of William L. Phelan at
PhelanLawFirm.com.
Now, back to Raider football.
Wisconsin Flex, Frontenac 35-0 lead over Parsons with 3:48 left first half. Reminder, tomorrow the Frontenac Quarterback Club will have a pancake feed at Applebee's starting at 7:30, so come on out and enjoy some pancakes and see some of the players. You maybe just know them by their number, but they'll be there serving you, so public's invited to come on out. Again, Applebee's starting at 7:30 till about 10 tomorrow, so raise money for the Quarterback Club, feed the kids every Thursday night, and I'll have a pancake feed tomorrow morning at Applebee's. Everybody's invited. Harris to kick off, tees it up at the 40, end over end, near side, and again, it's going to trickle into the end zone as it was over toward Derek Williams. He thought about it, but let it go in for the touchback, and the start 1st and 10 will the Vikings from their own 20, down 35-0 with 3:48 left first half.
Yeah, a little surprising he didn't field that one, but maybe he felt like he might not have got even back to the 20. So take the safe route and start from that 20-yard line.
And the looks like the first team are staying in there on defense. Of course, you got the district games, a couple more after this one, and you want to get them on there. There's a few games they weren't on the field much there, so you're talking conditioning here and see how that goes. Free side of the gun, Vikings from their own 20, 1st and 10. And there's a give. That's the tailback. And again, not much going on as T.J. Mayhew tried the left side. Got a couple of tough yards.
Yeah, host Raiders getting in on that one, but I think Flora might have got to him first. Good read and filling the hole nicely. And I did notice Peyton Brown's in at corner, and on the far side, Brendan Ishimura in, so giving the two starting corners a bit of a break.
And, of course, you had Austin Model, who's kind of nicked up in the Labette County game, but should be back next week. But would be in that defensive backfield normally. To pass, freeze. Boy, he's pressured, puts it up long, and it is going to be, almost picked. Boy, well defended by Bicknell. He went up and tried to pick off the pass intended for Keyshawn Anderson, and it fell incomplete.
Well, Anderson was going to run by the linebacker, and I think that's what the quarterback saw. But Bicknell was sitting back in that free safety spot just waiting to see where he was going to throw it, broke on the ball, and really made a nice play. And as you said, almost got the pick. But good job by Bicknell to read that quarterback, break on the ball.
3rd and 8 for the Vikings from their own 22-yard line. 3:01 left here in the first half. Frontenac 35-0 lead. Out wide to the left side goes Johnson. Coming wide to the right, that is Williams. Slots to both sides. Single setback. That is Mayhew. They fake the give to him. Rolling right, freeze. He's got a man open, and it is caught. That is Larson, and he steps out of bounds about the 41-yard line, and then he's drilled. Actually, about the 43.
Well, really good play design. You got the receiver on the far outside that runs deep, and quite frankly, he was open really deep, but might have been a little too far for the quarterback to get him the ball. But then you run the second one. You don't just run him out to the flat. You kind of run a wheel route, so he gets beyond the safety that's sitting in the zone coverage for the short ball. So you kind of get that spot between the safety, the weak safety that's playing up and the corner that's playing back, and they hit it just perfect.
So 1st and 10 for the Vikings as they are at their own 43-yard line and keeping it. Is Freese. He's got some yardage, and boy, just a few missed tackles, and he's hemmed in, brought down just as he crosses midfield into Raider territory for a pickup of close to 7.
Well, the first time the quarterback keeps the ball and you get misdirection. Everything's going to the right. This time the Raiders over pursue. He goes back to the left, and there's nobody there. First time he carried it tonight, and it's a really nice gain on first, set up second and short, which is exactly where Parsons wants to be.
Vikings second and a couple from the Raiders again to the 49-yard line. As wide to the left once again goes Johnson. Coming out wide to the right side, that is Yates. And slots to both sides. Single setback Mayhew behind Freeze. Quick hitch left side. That is complete. And taken off and with a first down. And on the receiving end was Daquan Johnson.
Well, I tell you, he took that ball and took off like he was shot out of a cannon and able to pick up that first down. It's a good, hard run. Got just what he needed, plus a couple.
6 out of 12 for Freeze, 84 yards. Been picked twice. One of those a pick six. And the Vikings with a 1st and 10 from the Raiders' 44-yard line with 2:07 left here in the first half. Frontenac 35-0 lead. Freeze out of the gun, looking to throw. Backed up, some pressure, goes long, far side. He's got a man, and it is, in and out, and now a penalty flag goes down. Is one of the Raiders going to be called for a pass interference, I believe?
Yeah, I got a little bit too many hands on the receiver.
Brendan Ishimura was back in there, and
but in a way, it's a good penalty because if he doesn't get a hold of him, it's probably a touchdown. In this case, of course, high school, college, pass interference beyond 15 yards down the field is just a 15-yard penalty. So 15-yard penalty is better than giving up a touchdown.
Yeah, it was a well-thrown ball, and the receiver was there, and 15-yard mark off, and the Vikings will have a 1st and 10 from the Raiders' 29-yard line. 2 minutes left here in the first half. Frontenac the 35-0 lead.
Freeze has shown if he can be given some time to sit back in the pocket to throw it, he's a pretty effective passer. Quite frankly, better than I thought I'd kind of seen on film. He's played pretty well tonight.
And only a sophomore. 2 minutes left here in the first half. Frontenac the 35-0 lead. Timeout taken. So let's take a 30-second break, and you're listening to the Frontenac Raiders on Fox Sports 1340 AM.
Finding a lawyer means choosing someone with experience, confidence, and a good track record. Every legal situation is unique, and you need someone who will give you the level of comfort that he or she will treat your legal problem like it is their own. J. Gordon Gregory of the law firm of Wilbert & Towner is ready to provide you with that type of specialized assistance. With over 30 years of experience in Southeast Kansas, Gordy is ready to give you the personalized legal service your problem needs and deserves. Call J. Gordon Gregory of Wilbert & Towner today at 620-231-5620 or contact him online at wilburtontowner.com. Trust J. Gordon Gregory with all your legal problems, including divorce and custody cases.
Now, back to Raider football.
Was driving has started this on their own 20. They're down to the Raiders 29 with a 1st and 10. Nice little drive by the Vikings here in the waning stages of the first half.
Yeah, it was some well-executed plays. A few pass plays very well executed. The running play the quarterback got very well blocked, well executed. So Parsons showing some life, showing that they're not going to quit, not going to lay down.
Derek Williams wide right, joined out there by Keyshawn Anderson. One wide out left. Slot to the right, Larson. Mayhew behind the quarterback, Freese. Again, drops back, looking to throw, swings one left side, and who was there? Somebody read that well and almost came up at the pick.
Yeah, it was Jordan Ishimura from the linebacker spot, and to be quite honest, he was being blocked down the field while the ball was in the air. Kind of an offensive pass interference, but went over, just not quite able to come up with the pick. But a good read on the wheel route. They kind of ran the slant with the wide receiver, tried to run a wheel route with the wing back, get him open down the sideline, just not there. Well defended by the Raiders.
Vikings 2nd and 10 from the Raiders' 29-yard line. Couple wide outs right, one left. Slot to the right side. Single setback Mayhew behind Freese, looking to throw again, pressured, and puts it up over the middle, and that's going to be picked. And is that Wilbert again on the pick, and he returns it near side 30, 35, and planted at the 40, and that is 3 interceptions for Jake Wilbert.
Yeah, just sitting back in zone coverage, and basically the ball thrown pretty well right to him. A little bit more pressure in the face that time. The defensive tackles with a little bit better push up the middle. Maybe affected the view of Freese, the quarterback, because he threw that ball right to Wilbert.
So 1st and 10 Raiders from their own 40-yard line with 1:45 left first half, leading 35-0. Score, Columbus leads Baxter Springs 15-8 with 1:45 left first half. Malika's out of the gun. Low snap once again. Malika's forced to scramble right, puts it up, and boy, he tries to put it in between a couple of Vikings. It's a little short. And the pass was intended for Ryan Long, and again, that was timing that thrown off by the snap.
Yeah, and really just a good job, Malikas, get the ball out of his hands, avoid any kind of sack right there. And, yeah, it's incomplete, but it's better than a big negative play.
2nd and 10, Raiders from their own 40-yard line. Minute 40 left in the first half, and Frontenac with the 35-0 lead. Again, 15-8, Columbus with the lead over Baxter Springs in the waning moments of the first half. Again, Malikas out of the gun. Boy, he wanted to throw, and now he pumps and got Mansour out at the 46. Bollinger released and went on, and I thought maybe Brandon saw him, and but he went short to Mansour. Was able to pick up 5 on that completion.
And I'm not positive that was a double move. I think that maybe Malika started to throw it, maybe lost his grip a little bit. Bollinger did the smart thing, keep running some kind of route and took off, but not able to get it to him initially. Good job getting the second receiver.
So 3rd and 5, Malika slips, but he's got a man open, and it is caught. And with the first down, that is Ryan Long steps out of bounds down near the 44-yard line.
Well, there's taking advantage of the cushion that the cornerback is giving. You take that out pattern, easy pitch and catch, and he gets it. First down stops the clock, but then it starts once the changer's set. Here he steps out of bounds with the first down, saving that time on that clock. The Raiders do have 2 timeouts, I believe.
With a minute 4 remaining first half and leading at 35-0. Frontenac 1st and 10 from the Parsons 45-yard line. Clefman comes wide left, joined out there by Bollinger and Ginnivan. Fay, the single setback behind Malikas, who's under the center. They fake the hitch. Now Malikas forced to scramble, and boy, he's going to go down back at the 48-yard line. And a nice effort there by a couple of Vikings, in particular Joel Scheibe, who's had a nice game.
Yeah, he's been in on several plays. He's one of those defensive linemen that's done a great job getting penetration. This time it looked like he might have even just been untouched. Came in clean. Malikas not able to get away, and the Raiders have called timeout.
And unofficially for Malikas, 6 carries for 53 yards. He scored a couple of touchdowns. We'll just keep it here with 50 seconds remaining in the first half. And remind us to stay tuned for the SEK Urgent Care halftime show. Hopefully we'll have some score updates and take a look at the unofficial stats scoring summary and what's going on around Frontenac High School. So busy halftime coming up. And now I'm noticing a few times there, I'm thinking Brandon Malikas forced to scramble a little bit. Maybe that footing is a little slick out there. Easy, slip sliding out of there. But, boy, he's so elusive, great balance. He's still able to turn it into a positive. But it may be getting a little choppy out there.
Well, you can see the dark spots now. The grass kind of getting chewed up out there. And I'm sure it probably is. It's not going to get any better as the game goes on, that's for sure.
And, again, Raiders on the road next week and wrap up the regular season district play the 2 weeks here against Baxter Springs. 2nd and 17, Raiders from their own 48-yard line. Malikas drops back, pumps once, keeps the football, forced to scramble, gets a block. He is inside the 40 and steps out about wisely about the 39-yard line. Short of the first down, but manageable.
Yeah, nothing too open deep. Good coverage. They sit back with those safeties deep, because they've gone back to the 2 deep safeties now, and that makes sense with the Raiders being in passing situations here. Nobody open deep. Malikas took off, got out of bounds, got what he could.
So a 3rd and 4 for the Raiders from the Vikings now about the 38-yard line. Long goes wide right, joined by Bollinger and Flora. Wide left is Bicknell. Fade the blocking back from Malikas out of the gun. Just a quick hitch. First down to Bicknell. Lamore inside the 25, 20. 15, cuts in, and he is going to go in for the score. Touchdown as Brandon Malikas able to hit Isaac Bicknell on a 38-yard touchdown strike.
Well, mentioned in the keys before the game, the defensive backs had to tackle well. This is just a quick little hitch pass. He makes one guy miss, gets down the field, makes another man miss, broke about 3 tackles on his way to the end zone. Excellent run by Isaac Bicknell to get a score with just 34 seconds before halftime.
And again, Harris to attempt the extra point, and Ryan Long to hold. 38 yards scoring strike from Malikas to Bicknell. The extra point is up. It is good. 34 seconds left first half. Frontenac 42, Parsons nothing. We'll be back 30 seconds. You're listening to Frontenac Raiders on Fox Sports 1340 AM.
Paynes Incorporated in Frontenac is the driveline specialist. Paynes handles all driveline repairs for cars, trucks, four-wheel drive vehicles, and farm equipment. Paynes can also handle any general machine work and offers 24-hour wrecker service. Call Paynes anytime, 231-3170. Paynes Incorporated is located at the intersection of West McKay and Highway 69 Frontenac Junction. Paynes Incorporated in Frontenac is the driveline specialist.
Proud supporter of Frontenac Athletics.
Now, back to Raider football.
Leads Parsons 42-0. And again, coming up, the SEK Urgent Care halftime show. And this time, well, Trey Harris again going to tee it up at the 40-yard line. Again, dropping back to receive the kick for the Vikings. Drops Derek Williams along with Daquan Johnson. And the Raider fans up on this kickoff, end over end, coming to the near side. And with it, that is Williams. Goes far side, able to turn the corner, still on his feet. Night effort. He drives out near the 34-yard line, but a penalty flag trailing the play.
Oh, they're calling that against Frontenac, like he'll block in the back or something? I'm
kind of
not
almost
sure.
looked like a look at a hold kind of thing, he was pretty abrupt with it, but in any event, that's going to tack on to a nice run.
I'll tell you, that was one of the few times this year the Raiders' kick coverage really kind of lost some lane integrity. There was a lot of open space on the far side of the field. I know the kick was more towards the near side, but boy, he had an awful lot of room over there.
So 1st and 10 for the Vikings after the mark-off. They'll start from their own 45-yard line with 23 seconds remaining in the first half. Frontenac up 42-0. See if they got, still pretty much the first unit in there on defense, it looks like. Now it looks like they went to that three-man front you were talking about here in the waning moments of the first half. And there's a hitch left side. That is complete. And forced out of bounds after the reception about midfield. That was Daquan Johnson.
The Raiders were perfectly willing to give that up. They had 2 corners and 2 safeties, all about 20, 25 yards down the field, and then making sure they don't give up anything over the top.
So 2nd and 3 for the Vikings from the Raiders, 48-yard line. 19 seconds left here in the first half. Coming out wide to the right side is Devontae Yates. Wide to the left goes Derek Williams. Out of the gun, Freese rolling to the right, pressured, avoids the pressure, puts it up, and it is a little wide. The pass intended for Jamarius Green, and the pass falls incomplete.
And this time the Raiders come with a bit of a blitz, trying to get some extra pressure, and that's what's been most effective against this passing game is if you can get pressure on Freese. That's when he's been throwing the ball away a little bit more, throwing some of those interceptions. So brought a blitz, got the pressure, got him to roll out, forced a poor throw.
So a 3rd and 3 for the Vikings from the Raiders' 48-yard line, down to 13 seconds left in the first half. Wide outs to both sides, slots to both sides. The quarterback Freese in the gun behind him. That is Mayhew. And there is a pass complete. And inside the 40-35, slipping but still on his feet as he's able to turn the corner, and he could go. He's forced out of bounds inside the 15.
We're real close to a block in the back. Official looked right at it, said it was on the side of the shoulder, so legal block. But, the Raiders playing this soft coverage and kind of giving the short throws. But if you're going to give up that short throw, you better be able to come up and make a tackle. And another positive, really good gain for the Parsons Vikings. They've got it all the way down to the 20, 3 seconds left. So here comes, you would think, the throw into the end zone.
So a play brought by Freese into the huddle. Again, you only got time for one, so it's going to figure something toward the end zone. As wide to the left goes Daquan Johnson. That was Derek Williams on the receiving end of that last pass. Wide to the right, Devontae Yates looking to pass Freese. Some pressure, puts it up, corner, and boy, he caught it for a score, but then it looked like the defensive back got pushed, didn't he?
I don't think that was. I wouldn't have called that offensive pass interference because they're both looking back for the ball and they run into each other. But a great job as he's falling to the ground of catching the ball. And that really good catch, Daquan Johnson. He's had a really nice game.
So a pass of 20 yards from Freese to Johnson. And yeah, that was a nice effort to put it up for grabs, and Johnson made the adjustment. The freshman came down with it for the score. And they'll go for two with Mayhew behind the quarterback, Freese, who's in the gun. They got three right, one left. Rolling right, that's Freese. He's getting caught and dragged down. Was that Ishamira? Nice effort as he just ran Freese down, and the two-point conversion attempt fails. We've made it to halftime. Frontenac leads Parsons 42-6. We'll be back with the SEK Urgent Care halftime show after we take a 2-minute break. 2 minutes, you're listening to Frontenac Raiders on Fox Sports 1340 AM.
SEK.
Why should you choose Pittsburg State University?
Nationally recognized academics.
Student-friendly tuition.
Incredible athletics. The amazing campus.
Whatever you're looking for in a university, you'll find it here.
It's why you belong. It's why you belong at Pittsburg State University.
Every 4 years, the fastest and strongest among us come together to determine who's the best in the world. At Frank Fletcher Toyota, we invite you to run through the tape.
The best-selling Toyota RAV4 leaves the competition in the dust. Drive away a brand new Toyota RAV4 for as little as $24,997 or get 0.9% financing for 72 months.
And every Toyota comes with Toyota Care, our 24-month complimentary maintenance plan. The best deals on the best cars in America.
Only at Frank Fletcher Toyota, Joplin.
Since 1945, Tri-State Building has been helping build the four-state area, providing quality construction services and dependability at competitive prices. Tri-State Building has a reputation as a general contractor and an authorized Butler builder, which holds experience, quality, and reliability above all other considerations. Tri-State Building has built a multitude of projects and is your full-service design build contractor that can take you from concept to grand opening. For an honest and proven contractor, call us, Tri-State Building.
The mark of a great body shop is no mark at all. Whether your vehicle has minor door dings, scratches, been in a fender bender, or just needs a complete makeover, Vietti Auto Body in Pittsburgh will make it look as good as new. Vietti Auto Body on East 4th in Pittsburgh since 1948. Find us fast in names and numbers.
Now, back to Raider football.
Frontenac Raiders lead the Parsons Vikings by a score of 42-6. It's time for the SEK Urgent Care halftime show. Located on the corner of Centennial and Broadway, SEK Urgent Care is dedicated to providing excellent medical care in a rapid, caring, courteous manner to walk-in patients 7 days a week, including evenings. The SEK Urgent Care halftime show. And for the first half stats brought to you by Monica Kellogg CPA. Personal and small business tax preparation, along with a variety of other accounting practices, are available at Monica Kellogg CPA. Call today, 235-0920. Set your appointment. That's 235-0920 for Monica Kellogg CPA, LLC. And the first half stats courtesy of Monica Kellogg. The Parsons Vikings, Keyshawn Anderson to carry for no yards. TJ May, who had a half dozen carries for 4 yards. Jamarius Green, 3 carries for 9 yards. Gage Freese, 3 carries for 4 yards. Gavin Larson to carry -5 yards through the air. And officially Gage Freese, 9 completions in 19 attempts, 138 yards and a touchdown. And Freese also threw 3 interceptions, all to Jake Wilbert, and one of those 8 picks 6. Frontenac Raiders, Brandon Malikas, 7 carries, 67 yards and 2 touchdowns. Caden Bollinger, 6 carries, 43 yards and a score. Tristan Fay, 5 carries, 56 yards and a touchdown through the air. Brandon Malikas, 6 of 9, 74 yards and a touchdown. The scoring summary goes like this: 9:35 left in the first quarter. Brandon Malikas, an 18-yard touchdown run. Trey Harris added the extra point. It was Frontenac 7, Parsons nothing, with 9:35 left in the first quarter. Then with 2:04 remaining in quarter number 1, Tristan Fay scored from 9 yards out. Trey Harris again good on the extra point. It's Frontenac 14, and Parsons nothing with 2:04 left in the first quarter. That's the way the first quarter ended. The Raiders leading the Vikings 14-0. With 9:48 remaining in the first half, Brandon Malikas took off on a 35-yard touchdown run. Trey Harris again good on the extra point. It was Frontenac 21, Parsons nothing with 9:48 remaining in the first half. Then with 8:47 remaining in the first half, Jake Wilbert at a 25-yard pick six. Trey Harris good on the extra point. Frontenac 28 and Parsons nothing with 8:47 remaining in the first half. And 3:48 remaining in the first half, Caden Bollinger scored from a yard out. Harris again good on the extra point. It was Frontenac 35-0 with 3:48 remaining in the first half. Then with 34 seconds remaining in the first half, Malikas hit Isaac Bicknell on a 38-yard touchdown pass. Harris good on the extra point. It was Frontenac 42, Parsons nothing. 34 seconds remaining in the first half. But last play of the first half, Vikings respond with a 20-yard touchdown pass. This one from Freese to Daquan Johnson. The extra point, two-point conversion attempt failed. It's 42-6. Frontenac lead, and that's where we are at halftime with Frontenac leading it by a 42-6 score. And again, the first half stats brought to you by Monica Kellogg CPA. And now we're going to come back and take a look at some of the goings-on in Frontenac High School and the area after we take another 2-minute break. 2-minute. You're listening to Frontenac Raiders on Fox Sports 1340 AM.
Hi, I'm Dr. Brent Cousins. SEK Urgent Care is celebrating 10 years of providing medical care for our community. From sneezes to stitches and everything in between, SEK Urgent Care is there for you. At SEK Urgent Care, walk-ins are always welcome and most insurance is accepted, including Blue Cross. We would like to say thank you to all of our patients, past and present, for trusting us with your illnesses and injuries. We look forward to many more years of service. SEK Urgent Care, 10 years and counting.
Whether you're securing a loan, purchasing property, or simply need a home improvement loan, University Bank can tailor any loan to fit your needs. All decisions are made locally by their loan officers, so you'll feel confident in knowing that University Bank is working for you. University Bank Branch GNB with locations in Pittsburgh, Galena, and Arma. Member FDIC and equal housing lender.
At Lindbergh Pharmacy, we care about your health. From a qualified and caring staff to services like our Time My Meds and MedPack programs, Lindbergh Pharmacy provides personalized service you can count on. Refill prescriptions online at lindberghpharmacy.com or on your smartphone with our free Lindbergh Pharmacy mobile app. You can also sign up for our text alert program and we'll text or email you when your prescription is ready. Can't make it to us? We'll deliver your medications right to your door. Lindbergh Pharmacy, now 2 locations to serve you.
A beautiful lawn doesn't just happen by itself. Sometimes you need a little help. That's where All Pro Lawn Care comes in, providing year-round property maintenance for commercial and residential customers, licensed and insured. You can trust the experts at All Pro Lawn Care, from mowing, edging, to tree trimming, leaf and snow removal. All Pro Lawn Care provides the highest quality work at prices you can afford. Call me, Jared Brooks, today at 620-249-7767. That's 249-7767. Go Raiders.
Now, back to Raider football.
The Parsons Vikings 42-6 after the Frontenac Marching Band performed at halftime. Also the dancers, a great show. Now some of the little Raiders wandering out onto the field. And I'm sure Mom, Dad, Grandpa, Grandma got their cameras going. It's a big, busy night here at Frontenac Raiders Sports Complex, and the Raiders haven't disappointed in that first half, leading by a score of 42-6 as the SEK Urgent Care halftime show continues. And again, a lot going on at Frontenac High School, and in fact, the I guess the waning stages of some of the student athletes here as some of the season's coming to an end. And I'll tell you what, it's been a successful fall for a lot of those Raiders student athletes.
Absolutely. Looking at Lady Raider volleyball this week, they played Columbus, St. Paul, and Southeast over at Southeast on Monday. Raiders were able to win all 3 of those matches. They improved their record to 21-7 overall, moved back into the top 10 in the Kansas Volleyball Association rankings. So congratulations, Lady Raiders. They play tomorrow. They're at Colgan, and I believe that is a tournament that they are having tomorrow at Colgan. Lady Raider Golf, they had regionals on Monday. Maggie Moody, again, got first place. She's the regional champion. She's gotten first in every single meet that she's competed in this entire season. The team ended up getting 4th at the regional just missed going to state as a team. As the top 3 teams get to go to state in girls golf, so the team just misses out on everyone going to state. Maggie will get to go as the regional champion. The state tournament is Monday the 17th. Cross country, they had their league meet yesterday and fared very well. The boys as a team took 3rd at league overall. Riley McDaniel placed 5th. Brandon Mosier placed 7th. The girls as a team, they finished 2nd at league. And considering you've got Kylie Logue over there at Girard, one of the greatest cross-country runners, not just in this area, but actually throughout the entire United States. She's one of the best cross-country runners in the whole country. So Girard was going to probably get first. Lady Raiders get 2nd at league. Medalists were Jessica Peterson got 4th, Hannah Stover 5th, Maggie Murray 6th, and Madison Niswanger took 8th. So an excellent job by the Lady Raiders. They will have regionals coming up this coming week.
So busy time again. Go out and support all the student athletes as they're, wrapping up their season. I talked to golf coach Audley, and she was excited about getting to go Monday with Maggie and expecting big things out of her. And I know, all the other coaches and their staffs and the student athletes, outstanding seasons and wrapping them up. And looking forward to a nice end of the fall season there at Frontenac High School. Now the Frontenac Raiders football team at 42-6 lead here at half. And again, they'll need to get through this one before we head to Columbus next week. And as far as the district goes, and well, I tell you, nice crowd here on this Frontenac side, especially. A few folks made the trip from Parsons, but seeing an interesting first half, and already looking forward to the second half. We'll be back with more of the SEK Urgent Care halftime show after we take another 2-minute break. You're listening to the Frontenac Raiders on Fox Sports 1340 AM.
Hi, I'm Dr. Brent Cousins. SEK Urgent Care is celebrating 10 years of providing medical care for our community. From sneezes to stitches and everything in between, SEK Urgent Care is there for you. At SEK Urgent Care, walk-ins are always welcome and most insurance is accepted, including Blue Cross. We would like to say thank you to all of our patients, past and present, for trusting us with your illnesses and injuries. We look forward to many more years of service. SEK Urgent Care, 10 years and counting.
This is Jim Adams at Frank Fletcher Toyota. If you're in the market for a new car, wouldn't it make sense to do your homework? Well, what if I told you the Toyota brand is #1 in safety, #1 in reliability, #1 in resale, and has the lowest cost of ownership of any other vehicle brand? Frank Fletcher Toyota in Joplin invites you to dare to compare. The bold new Camry has held the safety, reliability, and resale banner for decades. Since 1982, Toyota Camry has been the smart choice. Brand new Camry start at just $20,997 or get 0% financing for 72 months. The Toyota Corolla has been the best-selling car in the world. No, really, 31 million people have started a family, went off to college, or took the long way home, and they're ready for a fun Toyota Corolla. Brand new Corolla LE start at just $16,997 or get 0% financing for 72 months. Dare to compare all other midsize cars and then make Frank Fletcher Toyota your final stop. Come see us today at Frank Fletcher Toyota, Joplin.
Who's afraid of the big bad wolf when they know their house was bricked by Adam Lusker? Adam Lusker Masonry has brick by brick, block by block, and stone by stone became the go-to guy for masonry work. No job is too big or too small. Adam Lusker and his crew are not afraid of hard work. Or the big bad wolf, for that matter. Call Adam Lusker Masonry in Frontenac, 620-231-9899. Oh, and bring it on, big bad wolf.
With the winter months fast approaching, now's the time to get your car or truck checked out at Wiseman's Discount Tire. Everyone knows that Wiseman's carries great Cooper tires, but Wiseman's can also check your vehicle's brakes, exhaust, as well as your struts, just in time for the winter months. And they'll be able to answer questions to find out what's best for your vehicle. Wiseman's has been family owned and operated for over 25 years. They have the reputation of honesty and quality you're looking for. That's Wiseman's Discount Tire on Highway 69 in Frontenac. See their ad fast at Names and Numbers.
The human eye blinks about 17,000 times a day, but here's a real eye-opener. Dry eyes can cause irritation, red eyes, and blurred vision. Don't assume your blurry vision means you need new glasses or contacts. The doctors at Canar Eye Care are experienced in diagnosing and treating dry eyes with the newest treatments available. So schedule your eye exam in Pittsburgh or Girard with Canar Eye Care, the clear choice.
Find them fast in names and numbers. Now, back to Raider football.
Second half adjustments, courtesy of Bob's Grill. Proud food tradition, Bob's Grill has been serving community breakfast and lunch since 1964. Order what you want, eat what you get. Bob's Grill, 1014 North Broadway in Pittsburgh, and Bob's Grill. Second half adjustments, and well, you're up 42-6, but I think you need to make some. It was kind of a I don't know, a rough first half, actually.
Yeah, it's the Raiders didn't really come out this game as focused as they have. I don't believe as they have in all the other games tonight. So I think if you're Coach Smith on offense, you're looking for that consistency. Play calling and what I think you'll see is more of the same. They've been able to get some runs up the middle. They've got the short passing game going. Now it's just a matter of being consistent, avoiding the penalties, and going out there and really just ending this thing. Even though it's 42-6, but it's kind of strange with that score to think that they didn't necessarily play their best game. But I think Coach Smith definitely has some teaching moments from that first half. Defensively, slow this passing game of Parsons. It's been productive for them. They've got to get pressure on the quarterback, whether that means blitzing or whether the defensive line can get it. And then I think they're going to have to be addressing some of the cornerback plays. There's been several times, and it's not just been backups, it was also starters. Several times Parsons has had receivers open deep and gotten big plays out of it. So I'm sure they've made adjustments to counteract that. If you're the Parsons Vikings on offense, the misdirection stuff has worked to an extent, especially when the quarterback ran the football. But I think it's throw it and throw it some more. As long as they can protect the passer, it appears that there's going to be some plays to be made in the passing game for the Vikings. Defensively for Parsons, I think you're more than likely you're going to continue to see blitzing and more blitzing and hope they hit it just right. And then they probably would think addressed a little bit of the tackling issue, some missed tackles that they've had. When Malika's his first touchdown, broke about 3 tackles. The last touchdown before the half, Bicknell broke 3 or 4 tackles. So I'm sure they've been talking to their kids about making sure they can get on the ground and getting lower, hitting into the legs of the Raiders.
So kind of neat here at the halftime. They had not only the little Raiders out there, but they had a lot of youth league footballers out there and stood out there, and the entire varsity squad went over and high-five, and good to see them out there, mingling with the kids. I guess that's who they look up to. I mean, I remember playing at high school, but I don't remember stuff like that going on, but I mean, that's pretty neat. That keeps kids interested, and yeah, good turnout out there. So all in all, pretty interesting, and boy, ready for the second half, and again, the Vikings took the football to start the contest, so I'm assuming that meant they won the toss and took the football. That would be my guess. And so the Raiders will have the option, and I would almost guess go ahead and keep the football in there, get the offense in there for at least a series.
Oh, I don't think there's any doubt the starters are going to play here in the second half without question, just kind of the way that first half went. The bulk of this 42-6 lead really occurred about halfway through the second quarter when it looks like the Raiders kind of snapped out of a little bit of a funk and got everything going. They got everything going on offense, had everything going on defense, and really put it on them. Then again, got a little bit lax late in that, 34 seconds to go, you give up a touchdown drive, getting a little bit lax there. So I'm sure the starters are going to come out, play well quick. If you can get a score right now, get a stop on defense, then I think you start thinking about substituting.
And again, both teams out for their mandatory 3-minute warm-up after the halftime, and Raiders leading at 42-6 here at the half. And second half kickoff brought to you by Crestwood Country Club. Crestwood Country Club offers the area's best entertainment value. The weather's cooling off and make it the perfect time to hit the links. For membership information, contact General Manager and Club Pro Todd Casey, and kickoff it was 68, now down to 66, and South Breeze kind of kicked up. I mean, that American flag is probably up there about 20, 25, I would say, and it wasn't anywhere near that before. But yeah, so far so good. A few slick spots on the field, and again, a reminder: tomorrow we'll have the Frontenac Quarterback Club. We'll have a pancake feed at Applebee's tomorrow morning starting at 7:30. It'll last about 10:30, so come on out, and everybody's invited. You can get tickets there and get some pancakes, meet a lot of the football players who'll be serving you there, and all in all, a pretty nice time, and you're all invited, and looking forward to that. You got some score updates.
Absolutely. These are all pretty well halftime scores. Girard 48, Anderson County nothing. Colgan with a 45-0 lead on Yates Center. Columbus and Baxter in a good one. Columbus 15, Baxter 8. Riverton has a 28-0 lead over Southeast at the half. Independence with a 14-6 lead against Labette County in a big game with the de facto SEK League Championship game, more than likely this year. Coffeyville with a 14-6 lead on Chanute, and Galena taking on Cherryville. Galena with a 40-0 lead. And the last score I have is at halftime, Pittsburgh has come back and taken a lead on Bonner Springs. They're up 20-8 at the half.
So kicking off for the Vikings is Cody Stevens, and the football blows off the tee. Back to receive the kick is Bollinger, and he's flanked back there by Bicknell and Long. Bollinger stand back at his 5-yard line. Cody Stevens, the junior. He's up at the 40. Frontenac leads at 42-6. And nice end over end kick. Bollinger retreats back about the 2, brings it straight up the middle, crosses the 15, the 20, and lowers his shoulder, and he's able to battle his way out near the 28 and make him the 29-yard line. So a pretty nice return straight up the middle.
And good leg by the Parsons kicker. In some of the other games that they've shown, they've been pooch kicking, and so I don't know if that kid hasn't been available to him all year or what, but he's got a pretty good leg.
So 1st and 10. Raiders will start from their own 29-yard line after the turn by Bollinger. And coming wide to the left is Bicknell. Out of the gun, that's Malikas. Blocking to his right is Fay. Looking to do a throwback, and he got it set up to Bollinger, and it falls incomplete.
That one, a new play, a little throwback screen that we haven't seen all year, but a little rusted. The timing was just off on that whole play, and even if Bollinger caught it, he had 2 defenders kind of bearing down on him pretty quickly, so I'm not sure that one would have got much anyway.
And apparently going with the running clock here to start the second half, with Frontenac leading at 42-6. Wideouts to both sides. Malikas under the center with Fay, the single running back. They give it to him up the middle, and he busts one across the 35. The 40's got the first down out near the 41-yard line.
Well, the second time that they've been able to pop that trap open for Fay. Really well blocked up front. Nice crease. You get to the linebacker as well. A big hole and a nice gain for Fay, but well blocked up front.
Officially 6 carries, 68 yards for Fay, and a touchdown. 1st and 10 for Frontenac. Raiders at their own 41-yard line. Clock moving. With 10-10 left here in the third quarter, Frontenac 42-6 lead. Coming wide to the left is Long, joined out there by Fay. Wide to the right goes Bicknell. Malikas out of the shotgun, and Bollinger, the blocking back, gets the handoff, avoids the first tackler, straight arms his second, and then he is dragged down out near the 47, maybe the 48-yard line. Nice gain on first down of about 7, and unofficially for Caden Bollinger, 7 carries, 50 yards and a touchdown.
A good hard run, and he's not real tall, but he's real stocky. So if you only get a hand up on him by the shoulder, odds are he's going to run through it, and it's what he did in the backfield. And then he got the room to the outside.
So 2nd and 3 Raiders. Ball resting at the Frontenac 48-yard line. Monsieur goes wide right, joined out there by Flora. Couple wideouts left. Fay now motion left to right. Malikas lost the football, and he's still able to pick up a first down after picking up about 4 yards. He went to throw, and it slipped out of his hand.
Yeah, and he had Clefman on just a quick little hitch just to get the first down. Had him open, was going to deliver the ball, took it back. Yeah, just flipped right out of his hands. But the athlete that he is, he's able to make something out of nothing and gets a first down.
1st and 10 Raiders. Football resting inside the 49 of the Vikings with 8:48 clock moving here in the third quarter. In Frontenac, the 42-6 lead.
I'm a little surprised that they went to a running clock right after halftime, but Parsons has had so many injuries this year. Maybe the coaches are just thinking, let's get it over.
Malikas with the snap. Penalty flag trails the play. Still on his feet. 40-35. A.J. Lusker on the block in front of him. He gives him a push, and then he's run out of bounds near the 25-yard line. But I think it's going to come back. What was that, a motion?
Yeah, illegal
Shift?
motion is the call. So apparently 2 people moved and only 1 reset.
And I don't believe that Coach Mark Smith's too pleased with it as he continues to talk to the White Hat. But
I think he finally got an acceptable explanation and not happy with one of the players on the sideline.
that's the 5-yard mark off, and the Raiders will face a 1st and 15 now from their own 46-yard line. A.J. Lusker was just ushering Malikas along the near sideline. He got a little push, and it was a big game, but it comes back due to the motion penalty.
I was going to say, how would you like to be that corner, and you've got all of A.J. Lusker on a full head of steam coming at you? I'm sure it's not a position that corner really wanted to be in.
Bicknell brings the play in from the sideline, then splits wide to the right, coming wide to the left, long. Fay. Well, he's actually trying to line up in the right slot. Gets there. Bollinger, the blocking back to left of Malikas. Putting it up. Got it complete. That is Bicknell. He shakes one tackler. He's loose along the far sideline inside the 30, flirting with the 25-yard line.
Well, and take what the defense gives you. They're going to give you the short throw, take it, and then there's that tackling problem on the outside for Parsons showing up again. Makes one man miss and able to convert for that first down. So good athleticism by Bicknell. Just an easy pitch and catch and turn it up.
So 1st and 10 Raiders. Ball resting at the Parsons 27-yard line with 6:36 and the clock's moving here in the third quarter. Frontenac the 42-6 lead. Out of the gun, Malikas. Bollinger, the single setback, and a procedure call going to go against the Raiders, pushing back another 5 yards.
And penalties have been a bit of an issue for this team this year. Last couple weeks have been better, but tonight an awful lot of penalties of all different types. There's been procedure, there's been holding, there's been a block in the back. There's been a little bit of everything tonight.
So 1st and 15 Raiders from the Vikings 32-yard line. Going wide to right is Bicknell. Coming out wide left, that's Long. Slot left, Fay. Bollinger. Running back lines up behind Malikas. Option left side. Pitch, and boy, he can't find the handle. He short hops it, and Bollinger's going to take it the route. Score, touchdown, and I'll tell you what, boy, what a fortunate bounce as they hit the turf and came up, and Bollinger took it on the run. 32-yard touchdown.
Yeah, able to catch it just on a dead sprint, but he got a really good block on the outside. I think Dylan Flora might have got one of those. I'm not sure if it was Bicknell that was out there as well, but good blocks on the outside. So once he picked it up, there was nobody there, and he just goes untouched to the end zone.
32-yard touchdown run for Caden Bollinger. That is his second of the night. Trey Harris, again, the extra point attempt. Is plenty long enough. It's good. 5:03 left here, third quarter. Frontenac leads at 49-6. We'll be back in 30 seconds. You're listening to Frontenac Raiders on Fox Sports 1340 AM.
After 3 decades in business, Bittner Motors of Pittsburgh remains a local favorite. If you're in the market for a quality pre-owned vehicle, Bittner Motors has a large selection of late model, low mileage vehicles to choose from. Whether it be a car, truck, or SUV, Bittner Motors will warranty all their vehicles 100% for parts and service. And if you can't find what you're looking for on the lot, they will find it for you. Bittner Motors, 1018 North Broadway, Pittsburgh.
Now, back to Raider football.
Third quarter here, and Frontenac with the 49-6 lead, and the Raiders to kick off is Trey Harris doing the honors once again. Tees it up at the 40, back to receive the kick for the Parsons Vikings. Drops Derek Williams along with Daquan Johnson. And it comes near side. And on the return, that is Williams. And he takes it to the far side, trying to turn the corner. And he did a nice job getting it out to near the 25-yard line. Ran a long way and still tried to get around that corner. Almost made it.
Real close to a block in the back. The white hat was staring right at it, decided not to throw the flag. But and the Raiders have gotten a little bit closed down on that return, and he's taking it all the way over there. I tell you, he's only about another step or two away from potentially having a big one.
First and 10. Vikings, they'll start from their own 23-yard line. Coming wide to the right is Yates. Slots to both sides, a single setback. That is Mayhew, and he takes the pitch, tries to cut inside, and he is brought down at the 25 after a short game. Nice effort. I believe that was Brock Ginneman got in there, and some penetration forced him back into the middle, and he's able to pick up a couple.
Yeah, he got up the field really well, but Wilbert comes up nicely with some outside contain on the pitch man, turned him back in, and there was Dylan Flora with the pursuit. Flora and Wilbert get him on the ground, but good all-around defense by the Raiders.
See there, Brandon Stevenson in the middle of the defensive line for the Raiders. Apparently in there for A.J. Lusker. 2nd and 8 for the Vikings from their own 25-yard line, and there's a penalty flag before the play starts. I believe you get the procedure call, go against the Vikings, and you do.
And they were going to run that play with the quarterback running it, faking it to the right, and you've kind of got that counter misdirection play with the quarterback keeping it. Looked like the Raiders might have had that one defended a little bit better than they did in the first half, but the penalty negates everything.
You got Bicknell at the safety. You got the Brown along with Ishmael at the corners. Also in there Wilbert and Long along with the linebackers Ishmael and Flora. Freese with the snap. Keeps it. Nothing doing as he is brought down back at the 15-yard line.
Yeah, Flora all over that play. Just absolutely nowhere to go. And a quick score update, Rob. Independence has scored another touchdown on Labette County. PAT no good, but they lead 20-6 now in the third quarter.
Now the field conditions are there. 3rd and 16 for the Vikings from their own 16-yard line. Freese out of the gun. Rolling right, looking to throw, pressured, and boy, is brought down. Was that Flora once again got in there? I believe he did, and threw him back near the 10-yard line.
Yeah, Flora on the blitz, and Ginneman does a good job as they kind of plan the rollout, but he gets up the field and keeps him to the inside. That way Flora can, on the blitz, come in and finish him off. So good all-around defense again.
So punting situation, 4th and 22 for the Vikings from their own 11-yard line. Back to receive the kick. Isaac Bicknell stands near midfield. Again, back to punt goes Cody Stevens standing in his end zone. And that punt is away, end over end. Takes a hop. Bicknell takes it on the one hop, drops the football, and he wisely falls on it back at the 46-yard line.
Yeah, thought about running with it a little bit early before he fully had possession of the ball. Did well just to fall back on it.
And that'll do it for 3 quarters. Frontenac leads Parsons 49-6. We'll be back with the 4th quarter after we take another 30-second break. You're listening to Frontenac Raiders on Fox Sports 1340 AM.
The City of Frontenac is a proud supporter of Frontenac High School athletics and
Why should you choose Pittsburg State University?
Nationally recognized academics.
Student-friendly tuition.
Incredible athletics. The amazing campus.
Whatever you're looking for in a university, you'll find it here.
It's why you belong. It's why you belong at Pittsburg State University.
Every 4 years, the fastest and strongest among us come together to determine who's the best in the world. At Frank Fletcher Toyota, we invite you to run through the tape. USA!
The best-selling Toyota RAV4 leaves the competition in the dust. Drive away a brand new Toyota RAV4 for as little as $24,997 or get 0.9% financing for 72 months.
And every Toyota comes with Toyota Care, our 24-month complimentary maintenance plan. The best deals on the best cars in America.
Only at Frank Fletcher Toyota, Joplin.
Frontenac leads Parsons 49-6 of the running clock, and the Raiders with a 1st and 10. The Vikings 46-yard line. Peyton Brown at quarterback reverses out, gives it a dive left side, and that was Tristan Fay for a short game.
Yeah, ISO along the left side, and that was at Brett Houck did a pretty nice job reading that one. Slipped past the block, got into Fay before he could get too far.
2nd and 7 for the Raiders from the Vikings 43-yard line. This time Clefman goes wide left, joined out there by Fay. Coming wide to the right is Ginnivan. Likas under the center with Bollinger. The single running back behind him bobbled the snap, or excuse me, that was Brown in there. Couldn't handle the snap, and he's forced to fall on it back at the 44-yard line. Lost a yard.
And that's a case you never really know unless you're out there, whether the center didn't get it up or whether the quarterback left early. Couldn't really tell from our vantage point, but Brown did the best that he could just to fall on it. And the last thing you want at this point is any kind of turnover.
So the Raiders face a 3rd and 8 from the Vikings 44-yard line. Wide left goes Mansour. Couple wide outs right. Single running back, that is Bollinger behind Brown. Versus out, gives it to Bollinger. Lowers his shoulder, and he is brought down. Tyler Metcalf stops him for a gain of about 4 yards.
Just good hard run by Bollingers. Ran hard all night, and you thought maybe with Model being out tonight with the ankle injury that you might see Bollinger run the football a little bit more tonight than he has in some other games. Has done well.
And 4th and 4 Raiders. Football resting just inside the Vikings 40 with 10:15 remaining. Clock moving. Frontenac leading at 49-6. Clefman goes wide left. Ishamira joins him out there. Ginnivan wide right. Also with him, Roseboro. Out of the gun. Brown throws. He got complete to Ginnivan. He takes a knee at the 32 and able to pick up about 8 on that completion.
Well, nice pitch and catch, and he runs a good route because he runs it far enough for the first down. He aware of where the sticks were, pushed the corner off, and came back to the ball, and a nice delivery of the pass by Brown.
So the Raiders with a 1st and 10. And the football resting at the Vikings 32-yard line. Clefman wide left along with Mansour. Tight the right side, Roseboro. Running backs out of the eye. Lloyd, the fullback. The tailback is Ishamira. There's give to Ishamira. And boy, he's stood up. Still trying to move the pile down about the 28 before he's thrown back.
And seeing some new offensive linemen in the game now for the Raiders. See out there Joey DeWeese, Dylan Toll. They're the right side of the line now. I think Cal Strand may have taken over at center. We got Ethan Evans and Trey Harris on the left side of the line.
2nd and 7. Raiders from the Vikings 29-yard line. There's a give. All the ball's loose. So they tried to hand it to the fullback, Loy, and just never found the handle, and I believe the Vikings got the fumble.
Yeah, and I'm not sure exactly where that happened, but it never looked like Loy had full control of the football.
Actually, I think they said the Raiders got back on it.
Wow. I'm not sure how.
I missed that. I thought it just didn't make connections, and it started toward the goal. Somebody got on it.
I think it may have had to have been Zach Roseboro that was able to dig in the pile and come up with it.
Well, good effort there. Looked like the Raiders turned it over. Actually, no turnovers tonight.
And it's been a big part. The interceptions that they've got tonight have really changed the game in a lot of ways.
And there's the give. That's Ishamira out of his tailback slot, and he's run out of bounds back at the 26-yard line. And he's thrown down, and boy, penalty flag goes down. It'll advise there as they actually had him stopped for no gain.
If I'm not mistaken, that looked like Brett Houck that I'm sure it's been a frustrating game and, quite frankly, probably season for these kids. And Hal Gurley has played a pretty decent game tonight. He's made a lot of plays, but absolutely late on the sideline, no question.
7:22, clock's moving. Frontenac will have a 1st and 10, and the Raiders will be at the Vikings' 13-yard line. Raiders lead at 49-6, about to go to 7-0 and heading to Columbus next Friday. Brown out of the gun. With the snap, going to keep it. Try the left side. Jukes one defender, and then, boy, he's trying to turn the corner, and a penalty flag goes down, and might have gotten a face mask. Looked like he had a head jerked down, and actually turned it into a pretty nice game.
Yeah, good effort by Brown. He gets grabbed by the face mask right off the bat in the backfield, but is able to shake it off, and then showed a little bit of speed getting to the outside and turning it up.
It looks like, are the Raiders going back? No, that's a face mask. That was close to a 9-yard gain.
Yeah, it was a very good effort by Brown.
So after the mark, a 1st and goal for the Raiders from the Vikings 2-yard line. Mansour, Clefman come in with the play and pass it along to Peyton Brown at the quarterback. Clock moving, 6 minutes left. The Raiders the 49-6 lead and threatening. Clefman comes wide to the right. Mansour slot right. Now a little indecision there, a little mix-up. Now out of the gun. That's Brown. Going to keep the football left side, and he got in. Dove for the pylon. He got the score from 2 yards out.
Yeah, and Zach Roseborough at the tight end spot got a good block on the outside, allowed Brown to get to the corner and just sneak in, but good blocking up front.
So the Raiders, a 2-yard run by Peyton Brown, and the extra point attempt coming up. And again, Trey Harris going to come in, and he's had a good night kicking. He's been on the extra points, that's for sure. Long to hold. That kick up plenty long enough. No good. I guess I jinxed him, didn't I? oh well. Clock moving, 4:52. Frontenac's 55-6 lead. Let's keep it here. I'll got a little time with the Raiders lead at 55-6 after the 2-yard touchdown run by Peyton Brown. Next point attempt fails, and the Raiders kickoff coming up. And like I said, this moves the Raiders to 7-0, heading to Columbus next Friday in a big showdown, the league and district. And the Vikings fall to 1-6. They'll be at Baxter Springs, and the Lions quietly having a nice season down there at Baxter.
Yeah, much improved. A lot of senior-laden team, a lot of size. Got Dardine, Doug Dardine, the running back for them, runs the ball very hard, and they've got a good running game down in Baxter. So they're having quite a battle tonight with Columbus. Haven't seen any further updates. Last score I saw was Columbus 15 and Baxter 8, but so a good one going on there.
Yeah, and the kickoff coming up, and try and see, will it be Trey Harris teeing up it again at the 40? They kind of got a luxury, Nathan Kaufman, pretty good leg. He could put the foot to it, but going to let Trey keep at it as he's had a few go into the end zone and had a nice night kicking. And low line drive bounces off one of the Parsons Vikings, still loose, and now it comes out of there, and they're going to try and return it, and they're going to try and turn around the right corner. That's Derek Williams, pretty nice return. It looked like a couple of the Vikings went down to fall on it and missed it. It spurted out of there. They picked it up and ran it and able to turn it out near the 28-yard line.
It ended up looking like the old covey of quail. You remember
that?
Yeah,
I know exactly what you're talking about.
Everyone would come in on the ball, and you never know who it is, and they all take off running. That's kind of what ended up happening there.
I just think, he kind of low-line drive, didn't hit it real well, and it was whittled around there, and I think a couple of Vikings got a hand on it. One picked it up and turned it to the 30-yard line where the Vikings will have a 1st and 10. new quarterback in there, and that is Daquan Johnson. He's in the gun. Saw him warming up. Pretty impressive out there at the quarterback spot. Boy, it's a nice slant, and the man is open. That's Derek Williams. He's still loose in the Raider territory, and he could go. He needs one more block, cuts inside, and he's going to go the distance. As in comes Daquan Johnson. He hits Derek Williams with a 70-yard touchdown pass.
Well, and both of those players are just freshmen as well. And you're right, we watched in the warm-ups. He had a heck of an arm and very accurate in warm-ups, showing it off here late in this game, getting some action at the quarterback spot. Hit the receiver perfectly in stride. And then, Johnson's had a nice night. Williams has had a pretty nice night catching the football. So a big play for Parsons, getting them on the board.
70-yard pitch and catch and run, and the Vikings are going to go for 2. Out of the gun, keeping the football after the direct snap and trying to turn left corner, and getting in for the 2-point conversion goes Daquan Johnson. So, boy, a couple of plays there, and Johnson produces not only a 70-yard touchdown pass, but a 2-point conversion. And the Raiders lead cut to 55-14. That score came with 2:06 remaining. And again, the Frontenac defense played well all season long, only giving up the 33 points. And I know it's over, but you always try and be pretty stingy on that defensive side of the football, and that was just a nice play as they kind of perfect pass, caught it on the run, and nice moves, and turns out to a 70-yard touchdown pass.
And you did have the backups in the game, and the starters not on the field for that, but this is going to be kind of an odd feeling tonight. They're going to win this game big. It's 55-14. It sounds like it's a dominating performance. But I guarantee Coach Smith will have a lot of things to go over on film of mistakes that were made tonight by the Raiders. And I don't think they'll have any lack of focus next week as we travel to Columbus.
Yeah, Cody Stevens has it teed up at the 40, but with the clock winding down, it doesn't look like they're going to be able to get. They don't as the clock ends, and that'll do it. The Frontenac Raiders with a 55-14 win over the Parsons Vikings. Open district play with that win, and 1-0 in district, 7-0 overall, and heading to Columbus next Friday. And we'll be back as coming up the Performance Spine and Sport post-game show. Why don't we take a 2-minute break, and we'll be back with the Performance Spine and Sport post-game show after 2 minutes. And you're listening to the Frontenac Raiders on Fox Sports 1340 AM.
This is Dr. Bennett of Performance Spine and Sport. Recover faster with Performance Spine and Sport. Performance Spine and Sport wants to improve your overall physical.
Since 1945, Tri-State Building has been helping build the four-state area, providing quality construction services and dependability at competitive prices. Tri-State Building has a reputation as a general contractor and an authorized Butler builder, which holds experience, quality, and reliability above all other considerations. Tri-State Building has built a multitude of projects and is your full-service design build contractor that can take you from concept to grand opening. For an honest and proven contractor, call us, Tri-State Building.
The mark of a great body shop is no mark at all. Whether your vehicle has minor door dings, scratches, been in a fender bender, or just needs a complete makeover, Vietti Auto Body in Pittsburgh will make it look as good as new. Vietti Auto Body on East 4th in Pittsburgh since 1948. Find us fast in names and numbers.
Income tax return. Let Monica Kellogg, CPA, help you with your individual, small business, or farm income tax return. When it comes to income taxes, many people think of how much they can save. In reality, it's how much of your money you legitimately get to keep. To schedule your appointment, call Monica Kellogg, CPA, at 620-235-0920.
Or visit her at 214 East McKay in Frontenac.
Now arriving at Pittsburgh Ford, the all-new 2017 Super Duty Series. These are the big boys and completely redesigned F-250s and F-350s. These Super Duty Series trucks are made with military-grade aluminum body panels and ready to take on any job you throw their way. The 2017s are arriving daily, but we still have some 2016 F-150s still available. Choose 0% for 72 months or rebates as high as $5,800. Some rebates may require financing through Ford Motor Credit. See dealer for details. Find them fast at Names and Numbers.
Accidents happen. That's why they're called accidents. And if you're involved in an accident, it becomes an instant worry, including can your car be repaired properly and in a timely manner. Enter Larry Barrett Body Frame and Towing, a company that exemplifies quality work done in a timely manner. Best of all, Larry Barrett Body Frame and Towing offers direct billing to most insurance companies. So, if you're in an accident, there's one name to remember: Larry Barrett Body Frame and Towing. Their name says it all. Ask about their 24-hour towing service too. Call 232-9400. Find them fast in Names and Numbers.
Now, back to Raider football.
Knocked off the Parsons Vikings 55-14. The Performance Spine and Sport postgame show. Cover faster with Performance Spine and Sport, specializing in treating soft tissue-related injuries that result from everyday work and play. Performance Spine and Sport inside the Meadowbrook Commons at Centennial and Broadway. And time to hand out some awards. The collision of the game, Vietti Auto Body and Alignment. When you find yourself involved in a collision on the streets, choose Vietti Auto Body and Alignment. With over 100 years of combined experience, Vietti Auto Body and Alignment on 4th Street since 1948. And the Vietti Auto Body and Alignment Collision of the Game Award winner,
A.J. Lusker, first quarter. T.J. Mayhew gets the dive up the middle and just absolutely got swallowed and then slammed to the ground by A.J. Lusker. Easily our collision of the game.
So congratulations to A.J. Also, the Kansas Teachers Community Credit Union Player of the Game. Kansas Teachers Community Credit Union is a sound, quality-driven organization that provides the most desirable financial services for members while safeguarding their assets. With 4 locations across southeast Kansas to better serve the community, you can find them in Pittsburgh at 416 North Broadway. Kansas Teachers Community Credit Union Player of the Game Award,
Jake Wilbert, 3 interceptions on the night, returning 1 for a touchdown, almost another one for a score. Set up a big, kind of the turning point in the game, if you ask me, in the first quarter, setting up the second score and kind of opened the floodgates. I guess that's a little hint on the game-changing play coming up.
There you go. So congratulations, Jake Wilbert. And the game-changing moment or play of the game brought to you by Pitt Realty. Buying and selling a home is one of the biggest events in a person's life and should not be taken lightly. Pitt Realty promises to be there every step of the way, guiding and advising to see you through that the transactions made are most beneficial for you, your family, and or business. The Pitt Realty game-changing moment or play of the game.
First quarter interception by Jake Wilbert set up a score, and that kind of almost woke up the Raiders a little bit, and then set up the floodgates opening in the second quarter when the Raiders did play well.
So congratulations, Jake Wilbert, on the game-changing moment or play of the game, brought to you by Pitt Realty. And going to wait for the arrival of Mark Smith to come up for some post-game comments as his Raiders improved to 7-0 with that 55-14 win over Parsons and head to Columbus next week, trying to get a score on that Columbus and Baxter Springs game. They had a close one going there, so we'll have to wait on that. Why don't we take another 2-minute break, 2 minutes, and you're listening to Frontenac Raiders on Fox Sports 1340 AM.
This is Dr. Bennett of Performance Spine and Sport. Recover faster with Performance Spine and Sport. Performance Spine and Sport wants to improve your overall physical performance. We specialize in treating soft tissue-related injuries that result from everyday work and play. This fall, we are offering a Saturday morning sports recovery clinic. This features discounted rates on our cryotherapy, Normatec recovery, with active release chiropractic soft tissue care also available. Performance Spine and Sport inside Meadowbrook Commons at Centennial and Broadway in Pittsburgh.
Meet Jim. Jim loves his car, but right now Jim is sad. You see, Jim was in a fender bender and his car's a wreck. Now Jim's dealing with insurance hassles, figuring out who to trust with the repairs. Jim's sadness turned to joy after he took his car to Vietti Auto Body and Alignment. At Vietti's, they work with all insurance companies and have the latest collision repair technology to get your car back to looking like new. Jim is all smiles now, thanks to Vietti Auto Body and Alignment. On 4th Street since 1948. Find them fast in names and numbers.
This is Jim Adams at Frank Fletcher Toyota. If you're in the market for a new car, wouldn't it make sense to do your homework? Well, what if I told you the Toyota brand is #1 in safety, #1 in reliability, #1 in resale, and has the lowest cost of ownership of any other vehicle brand? Frank Fletcher Toyota in Joplin invites you to dare to compare. The bold new Camry has held the safety, reliability, and resale banner for decades. Since 1982, Toyota Camry has been the smart choice. Brand new Camry start at just $20,997 or get 0% financing for 72 months. The Toyota Corolla has been the best-selling car in the world. No, really, 31 million people have started a family, went off to college, or took the long way home, and they're ready for a fun Toyota Corolla. Brand new Corolla LE start at just $16,997 or get 0% financing for 72 months. Dare to compare all other midsize cars and then make Frank Fletcher Toyota your final stop. Come see us today at Frank Fletcher Toyota, Joplin.
Now, back to Raider football.
Postgame show continues, and we're going to take a look at the unofficial stats scoring summary, and we'll wait to see if Coach Mark Smith, he's going to be heading up this way. He's having a little family time right now. We got Columbus scores. Columbus 35, Baxter Springs 8 right now. That's the score that we have. And taking a look mainly at the Frontenac Raiders stats, Brandon Malikas, 8 carries, 71 yards, a couple of touchdowns. Caden Bollinger, 9 carries, 86 yards, 2 scores. Tristan Fay had 7 carries, 71 yards, and a touchdown. Peyton Brown, 3 carries, 10 yards, and a score. And Brendan Ishamir, a couple of carries for 3 yards through the air. Brandon Malikas, 7 of 10, unofficially 95 yards and a touchdown. And Peyton Brown, 1 of 1 for 8 yards. So, moved the ball well on the ground really tonight because, relatively speaking, normally you put up more yardage through the air, do the Raiders, but still pretty well balanced. And again, kind of an odd game coming off that big one at Altamont against Labette County last week. It didn't seem like, the kids is fired up in the district playing with Parsons, but going to get ready. I'm sure a tough week of work heading to Columbus, who was up 35-8 was the score that we had. And also a reminder that following the ball game, you can tune to ESPN 100.7 FM, KSHQ. That's for the Campus Bookstore Scoreboard Show, so you might want to check that out. And also we want to mention the Frontenac Quarterback Club, again, going to have a pancake feed tomorrow morning at Applebee's in North Broadway in Pittsburgh. It's $5 for all the pancakes you can eat, so come on up. And everybody's invited, and you'll have some of the football players there serving, so you know them by number. You can kind of see what they look like, and for some that's kind of scary, but in any event, you can come out there to Applebee's tomorrow morning starting at 7:30 for the Quarterback Club pancake feed. So I'm looking forward to that. And again, stay tuned as you'll be able to hear the KSHQ 100.7 FM, the Campus Bookstore Scoreboard Show. And joining me is Frontenac Raiders coach Mark Smith, and the Raiders a 55-14 win over the Parsons Vikings. And boy, tough in the early going. It seemed like we were in trouble getting it in gear here this evening.
Yeah, I don't think we were as focused as we were last week, and it's kind of a good wake-up call that first play of the game. We got lucky there was a penalty on Parsons, but after that our defense kind of stepped it up, really stopped the run game. They had a few big pass plays, but overall defense played pretty good again. And
you mentioned, of course, they were excited about that Labette County game. Parsons comes in struggling, but you watched them on video. They had some talented kids. They were just bit by the injury bug. A lot of their kids have been out or in and out, and you didn't see that consistency. But it seemed to me like maybe, like you said, that that defense kind of took over, and after a few issues, they kind of took charge and took control of the game.
Oh, they did. Our defense kind of gave us good field position in that first half, and we executed on offense and got some scores. Our D-line kind of got some pressure. The quarterback did a good job getting the ball rid of it pretty quick, and we made them one-dimensional, which is what we like to do on defense, and we knew they were going to throw it. They have some athletes that made plays, but overall they kept bending, but they never broke, and until that last play of the half. But overall, good team win.
And, we were looking at some of the statistics, and not the big numbers passing, but kind of spread the wealth on the ground, and it looked like we're getting some pretty good numbers from a variety of ball carriers here tonight.
Yeah, Brandon ran well, Caden ran well, Tristan ran well. We're missing Austin Model tonight, but offensive line did a tremendous job again, opening up some big holes. We were fortunate on Caden's last touchdown. He made a good play on that, but we threw the ball well in the conditions, I thought. I kind of opened up the running game, and I don't think we punted, so it was good for our offense not to give it back on to Parsons.
And came out here about noon, a little standing water along the sidelines and on the field, and was a little goosey about that. It dried up a little bit, but it looked like kind of slippery out there.
It was soft, yeah. I was hoping we didn't get that much rain last night, but I heard a big thunderstorm middle of the night, and I wasn't very happy. But our fields had 3 battles with rain, and it's held up pretty good. I just want to play a game without any rain or wet spots, and I think we'll be all right.
Seems like every Thursday you get some sort of rain. I didn't know if it was a thunder and lightning or my wife was snoring last night, but I heard it, and then it was raining, and I figured it must have been the elements. That sets up a big one coming up on Friday as we head down to Columbus, take on the Titans in the last 2 years. Boy, that's been a battle, and it shapes up to be another one this year.
Yeah, this is what the kids have worked for all summer. That's what I told them after the game, and they shouldn't have any problem focusing for practice this week. Columbus kind of embarrassed us last year here, so we made it look close, but they kind of whooped us. So we got a big week ahead. I know they're going to be excited. It's probably a chance to be for the district title and the CNC championship, so a lot riding on it. I think our kids will be ready for it.
And again, a fine line this week. You get that big lead, but you got to keep some of the kids out there on the field because you're getting to the point where you're going to need to be on there for 4 quarters.
Yeah. It's nice getting the running clocks, but I'm trying to get our kids in shape for the big games. And they came out at halftime with a good focus. We had a good first drive, and then defense had another stop, so it was good to see from our first team.
And kind of banged up coming in this one a few spots. Was there anything new, or did we escape this one?
I think we escaped it pretty healthy, and hopefully we'll get Dexter Palmer and Austin Model back next week where we're full go.
Okay, sounds good. Appreciate you coming up. That's Mark Smith, Frontenac coach. The Raiders knock off the Parsons Vikings 55-14, and again, we'll be at Columbus next week to take on the Titans, and Columbus had a 35-8 lead over Baxter Springs, and again, the Parsons Vikings, they will go to Baxter Springs. Again, stay tuned for the KSHQ 100.7 Campus Bookstore Scoreboard Show. So that'll do it from the Frontenac Raiders Sports Complex, where the Frontenac Raiders knock off the Parsons Vikings by a score of 55-14. You've been listening to Frontenac Raiders on Fox Sports 1340 AM.
This is Dr. Bennett of Performance Spine and Sport. Recover faster with Performance Spine and Sport. Performance Spine and Sport wants to improve your overall physical performance. We specialize in treating soft tissue related injuries that result from everyday work and play. This fall, we are offering a Saturday morning sports recovery clinic. This features discounted rates on our cryotherapy, Normatec recovery, with active release chiropractic soft tissue care also available. Performance Spine and Sport inside Meadowbrook Commons at Centennial and Broadway in Pittsburgh.
The true test of a great insurance agency comes when you suffer a loss. It's easy to take your premiums, but Ray Ryan of Ryan Insurance of Pittsburgh knows that handling your claim is the most important service an insured needs.
Claim is our chance to let the customer know that we'll be out there, not just that we sold them a policy, we'll also be there when a claim occurs to make sure it gets handled in an honest, respectable way.
Ryan Insurance of Pittsburgh, a trusted choice agency. Find them fast in names and numbers.
Reduce your monthly utility bills now with CDL Electric Solar Division. With a solar system from CDL Electric, you can reduce or virtually eliminate utility bills. CDL Electric can customize their solar products to fit your specific needs, from